Try, but it is dragging me down. I still have my faith, but I keep having my doubts. I need you here right now. I need you here right now. Tell me, what do you want from me? Got a lot of insecurity. We can do better, we can do better, we can do better, yeah. No matter how long it's gonna take, I will never leave or go away. We can do better, we can do better, we can do better, yeah. Na 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 try, but it is dragging me down. I still have my faith, but I keep having my doubts. I need you here right now. I need you here right now. Tell me, what do you want from me? Got a lot of insecurity. We can do better, we can do better, we can do better, yeah. No matter how long it's gonna take, I will never leave or go away. We can do better, we can do better, we can do better, yeah. Na 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 I got to get it cut sooner or later. My style's looking rough, like an 80s waiter. Said he won't rip you off, he's not that kind of guy. Just keep it long on top and short up the sides. It seems that street talk is being put on the shelf. I wouldn't want my ear cut by anybody else. He's gonna take an inch like a personal trader. Just you don't ever flinch, or you be no brainer. You know that Phil and Dave, man, they're always fine. Street talk is going nowhere, stuck on the borderline. It seems that street talk is being put on the shelf. I wouldn't want my ear cut by anybody else. We all make mistakes, especially each other. The left on my is gonna hold me down. You know that Phil and Dave, they're like two brothers. The style of my hair's gonna stand me out from the crowd.
Hello, Antigua. Didn't see you there.
know you're thinking. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Money in the bank. You've got gas in the tank, you know what I mean? That's right, you're looking at the man. Now, I'm something you could never be. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hi, Dr. Nick.
So we have Vincent Sullivan on with us tonight, but we're going to be talking about Native Americans, I think. Yeah, but that would be like.
We're going to go over that. Yeah, we're going to go over that.
But as Luke said, we're going to be talking about some fucking just random shit. A beginning of the week fucking thingamajiggy.
How is everyone? Anyway, Heled, what's going on? Heled Zeppelin.
Yeah, who we got out there?
Yeah. Once I'm done eating, I'll post it on my page and that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sweet. No worries. No rush. Coach Camel Pill, what's going on, dude? You good? Well, Guan. What's Guanin? What's happening? Danny Byrne, as always. Danny Byrne. As always. Sheffield United. How we going? How we going? Right, I better write this up.
Oh yeah, people are asking about the chili, man. You got to cover that quick.
Oh, definitely.
I went to see him, right, the following week, and I forgot to tell him to do one in front of me. That would have been, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mate, I don't think it's worth it. 24 hours of pain.
I let you smell. Did I let you smell them, Vin? I can't remember.
Yeah, they were absolutely rancid. Just smelling them.
Bruv, were they legit or were they legit? Like
100%. My eyes went just smelling them.
No question.
No question. Are they that bad?
Even the smell, bruv, is off.
Oh, your old man was there, and he just put his finger in the box, and he was like, "Yeah, it is a bit much." But he tried to wear it, but he admitted it was hot.
Yeah, because he reckons he's had one in his lifetime, but I really don't believe that he has. I mean, he'll be watching this as well, but he knows.
Look at it. Does that look like it's my head? Hang on. I gotta try and get it in the right position. There you go. Look. Hello, my name is Luke Uncaged. Hello, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
That's my fight. My Sikh warrior. Look how fucking badass that is. I'm proper impressed with this. That's what my uncle left me.
I'm waiting for it to come up.
This come with a few others.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Reminds me of Prince of Persia.
Is it?
Yeah, you got them guys, didn't you? The ones they're like the elite guard to the whatever he is, emperor or whatever the fuck.
Oh, sick! That was a sick game actually, Prince of Persia.
Sultan. Love that game. Sultan. Well done, Vinny. Salute you, sir.
There might be a Sultan or a Sikh warrior. What do you think? Is it a Sultan or a Sikh warrior?
They protected him anyway. They wore that sort of headgear and they was protected. But yeah.
What do you reckon? It's got to be. Look at even the stem. Look at the patterns on it. Look. It's quite sick. Like marbled. It's sick. Who else in there? Jay. What's happening, Jay? How's it going? That's my West Ham boy. He's cushy. Top bloke.
Oh, right,
Smoking Pope, what's happening? What's happening,
yeah.
Geese?
Stevie Wild.
Stevie Wild, what's going on?
Sheffield United. Oh, you're
Fair
breaking up again. A little bit.
What with that?
Mm.
I've got it plugged in. It's plugged in.
Why are these guys trying it, man?
What?
I just got a text message come through and it's like O2 monthly billing for O2 plan. I'm not even with O2.
Ah, did you get them?
Let me just
I'll
leak
get them all the
this
time.
number because just fucking have it if someone can see that.
Fonz, I got a phone call a few weeks ago saying there's a warrant for my arrest.
Oh yeah, them. Was it computer?
Yeah, and another one. Yeah, and then another one recently. Oh, what was it? My national insurance had been destroyed. Ring this number to get it back.
Your national insurance has been destroyed.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it up.
Like someone could just take it out of the fucking, I don't know, where they keep all the info and just put it on a
Considering I'm
bonfire.
English as well. Yeah, considering I'm actually English and they're just going to wipe it off the face of the earth, yeah.
Someone just take put it in an
I
incinerator.
get them all the time from Royal Mail or FedEx and all this. Your package needs payment of £3, blah blah blah. Please, they don't do that. They don't do that. They put a fucking letter through your fucking door, like a little slip. That's what they do. Don't do none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Why are you fucking lying?
And old Bill don't ring you. Old Bill don't ring you to tell you.
Yeah,
there's a
like
warrant
HM Revenue and all that. They try them scams and they don't contact you like that. They fucking unless it's arranged. Let's say that. But then they'll always send you a letter every time. Just fucking stupidness, man. Chances out there, too many of them.
You know what? As well, getting back to that Chile people.
Yeah.
What you don't understand. Yeah. Although, like, I've been told by a few people, I took it like a champ, and I did really well. Yeah. Yeah. Like this part of me, my face, my mouth, felt like I've been pepper sprayed. But apparently I took it quite well. So yeah, sweet, thank you. But what it did to my guts through the night and all through the night and right up until about 10 o'clock in the morning next morning was absolutely fucking diabolical. That is the worst thing I've ever eaten, by far. By far. That was... I had like stomach cramps, all that, and it felt like someone was doing that, like, tying me guts in knots. That's how I feel like I've been tied in knots. That old saying. Genuinely, that's what it felt like. My stomach was just all the time fighting it. And I kept having to get up as if I was going to have a shit. But I wasn't having a shit. Nothing was happening. Right? So then, what time did I get up? About 4:30. About 4:30 in the morning, I had to get up and go and sit on the bog. And then it came out. I won't go into too many gory details. But it's ring sting, all that business. And I sat on the bog, I shit you not, from about 4:30 to about 5:45 in the morning. And then I had to start getting ready for work. And as I'm getting ready for work, running about, darting about, I had to keep jumping back on the bog. And I was late for work by about an hour. I had to text the boss and say,
I heard
listen,
about that.
Yeah, no, for real. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm late, but I had a Carolina Reaper last night and I just couldn't. And then even then, while I was still in work, I had to keep going to the bog every now and again. It just wrecked my insides like you wouldn't believe. I drank 2 pints of milk. 2 pints, like proper pints of thing, just to try and sort of calm my stomach down.
The last time, I know you don't want to know this, but I don't know if I told you at the time. But last time I had a proper bad belly whilst being at work was when we was with Greg and that. But I woke up, I had a pizza night before, and it was like bacony, fucking all shit. Anyway, so I fell asleep on the settee, woke up in the morning and thought, fuck, I've got to get out the door. So I've just quickly grabbed a slice, ate it. Anyway, that day, my belly was so fucked. And I don't think that had a bog in it, did it, that place? At the time. I think I just had to hold my guts all day, but I remember farting and just stinking the room out.
Is that what it was like? Yeah.
It fucked me up bad, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a bog. No, you had a bog out the front, didn't you? Have the public, the lav.
I did
Blue.
not know about it. I would have cleared that. No, I might not have been there when you put that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't come to a little while later. You had to sort of piss in the garden.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no bog there, so I was just holding my guts. Like, luckily at the time it was just me and you.
Thank you, Family Johnson.
Fucked.
Appreciate it. Oi, Smoking Pope. You live in the Carolinas, yeah? Oh, Carolina. You remember that song? Yeah,
No,
bro.
Carolina, we're born. Whatever he
It's a
says there.
sick
I don't know what he says there.
Shaggy, mate. Best reggae artist of all time. No question. Shaggy.
Like, always talking like he's eating toffee, so he can't really clear his throat, you know? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? He's got his mouth full of toffee or...
Yeah, bro, do it. Listen, people, you want to have a good fucking time at a party, chuck on some Shaggy.
Yeah.
Trust me. It just gets everyone going. It don't matter. Don't matter how cheesy, corny it is, whatever. Shaggy, mate. He's sick.
Yeah. I do
Check
like
your
it.
inbox, Lou. Share that one. Check your inbox, mate. Check your inbox. I just made a little post. You might want to share that one as well.
All right,
Fonz-
yeah, do it. I'll do it. Just check me inbox.
Put it in Fonz in for me while I'm sharing it, and he might not have that photo for himself.
What am I sharing, mate?
Go to my page and you'll see it. I just put this on the page. I've been eating, so...
Got it. Yeah, I'm going to copy that. Copy text. No, not copy text. Copy... How do I copy?
Yeah, show the chat in case they
Forward.
can't see it. It's a nice picture, that one.
Saved messages.
Where's Vinny?
That's a...
Sick picture.
Let me... Okay.
I'm going to share that about... So, anyway. It looks like we're getting back to normal after this COVID shit, finally.
I just had a pack of Quavers with a pack of Skips, so they're not going down well.
Do you know what? I don't think so, bruv.
You're not?
No, I think this is a... Like, so everyone really badly wants to believe it. But then this Indian variant or whatever is going to come out. And then they're just going to go, oh shit, look, we can't do that unless everybody gets the vaccine. I keep hearing on the radio, because I listen to the radio quite a lot recently, and I keep hearing
I suggest you stop doing
that these ads, right? These ads are constantly saying protect yourself and the people around you and get the vaccine. And it's like, hold on a minute, stop misinforming people. And I'll tell you why. For anyone that is pro-vax and wants to argue with me about this, just think about this one, right? What if everyone gets the vaccine and then gets on with their lives as normal and goes, hold on, I'm protected, which means I'm protecting you, so I've got the vaccine. Then they start not washing their hands. They start not wearing masks. They start doing all that shit. And they're lied to because it doesn't stop you from getting it and it doesn't stop you from spreading it. So you're not protected and you're not protecting anyone. Like,
Evening
can you hear me? Am I
yeah, I
coming
can.
through?
Yeah.
Right, now I'm not going to get myself in trouble, but you'll find that people are now being infected that have been due to friends around them being vaccinated. The vaccine is infecting people. What it's doing to people is making them, their antibodies are becoming non-existent, and they are infecting others. And the fact is, wearing a mask helps no one. In fact, wearing a mask might only be those that have a vaccine, because they're more likely to infect us that are living a normal life like we have for millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years as humans, surviving far worse things than this non-existent Black Death. You know, so there was no. I've never seen one person fall down from COVID. So what I was going to say is, everyone in this chat probably already agrees with you or is more vehement on it than you, you're only going to lose your channel talking about it. There's no one on here that's going to debate you about how dangerous it is. I think personally. I think,
of course. I don't think I'd lose the channel because I'm saying facts. It's a fact
It
that
doesn't matter.
it doesn't stop you catching
that's
it.
why they banned you, mate. Facts are what get you banned. They don't care if you're really bullshitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take that risk
It's
because
true.
I was told I believe in telling the absolute truth. So if they get banned for that, then fuck them.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's only fucking DLive. I'll just make another one anyway. We've only got 155 followers on here. We've already been banned on YouTube, our main channel, so it can't get any worse than this, can it?
Fucking keep banning us. Do what they got to do. Keep fucking banning us. Don't matter. I'll pull my arse cheeks apart and you can lick my arsehole. Fuck 'em.
And that don't matter anyway
Thanks.
because I'll tell you
Luke.
why.
Cheers, mate.
I'll tell you why I'm not really bothered as well, because we used to get a certain amount of people on our YouTube watch us, and we get around about the same numbers.
We are taking a massive risk having Vincenzo on tonight.
Yeah, you are, to be honest.
He is shadow banned everywhere. Everywhere he goes, he's banned. He can't even come out of a train station in a certain part of the country without being told to leave. That is so fucking funny.
He's too.
You know that joke you made when I was with you and you said I bet you was banned from all the pubs? I really was. I really did have that problem when I was younger.
He's that guy. If you went on like a stag do and did a pub crawl, every pub you'd go in, they'd ask you to leave because you're with him. Like, no, not him. No, last week he was in here and he had his Corey out and was jumping about on a chair.
Yeah, not even for good reasons either. Like, I've done something stupid. Like, you know,
What's a good reason to be banned from a pub?
You'd have that fucking stuck-up old dog of a barmaid giving it, I ain't serving him. I ain't serving him.
No, hang on. I want Vinny to answer that. Please answer that. What is a good reason to be banned from a pub?
I can't speak in normie terms. In normie terms, it would have meant getting banned from a pub for a basic row, getting caught with the wrong bird, you know, trying to get inside a fruit machine. I can accept these things, you know,
Okay.
getting caught doing gear. If someone else, not me, got caught doing gear in the toilets when they were younger, I get it. They need to be thrown out. It's not the sort of action you'd have seen me do.
Yeah.
But if you get, I don't know, thrown out for something a bit more embarrassing, I don't know, nicking pool balls or something.
Yeah.
You know, something silly. It's not as good. Or
Yeah.
if it's some ridiculous situation.
No, that's fair enough. I mean,
I'm not giving you specifics because there's people listening. All right.
I bet he had a row with someone. You eat bagels. You eat bagels. Yeah, fucking.
Do you know George Soros?
Fucking traitor.
bagels, man. Fuck.
You're funding the enemy.
Oh shit.
Gee.
He likes bagels as well. Luke likes
I love
bagels.
bagels.
He has a
I love
bagel
bagels.
burger. So rather than using a bun, a brioche bun, your fucking seeded bun, whatever. No, fuck that. Bagel.
Bagel, mate.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that and I was disappointed. I saw that on the counter. You know, I won't say no more.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, we'll move this
We
on.
did go
Yeah,
Brick
please
Lane
move
last
this
year,
on.
didn't we? And, didn't we go? You know, as
Yeah,
much as it
before.
hurt me, we did go and get a lovely.
Oh, salt beef bagel.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
mate, beaut.
I ate it as much as it pained me. It was tasty. Yeah, it was tasty.
It was
I
the
like
bollocks. Really was the bollocks. I absolutely adore a Big Name bagel.
I don't like the hole in the middle though.
Why?
It just annoys me. I don't like the hole. I'm just like, I'd rather there was bread
Why
there.
have a hole? Why con me with zero anything? I get you. There's no product there. Why must we have a? It's like
I
it's
don't
like
like it.
Listen, it keeps people employed.
What, the
You know
hole?
what I mean? Yeah, someone has to punch that hole.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's such a shit job, but fuck me.
It's a skill.
This
It's a
is
skill.
communist argumentation if ever I've heard it. This is like this. Right, we're going to keep the hole.
I'm telling you, lads,
bollocks,
there is
whatever.
someone in history that has gone and complained about the hole in the bagel. There is someone there.
I used to punch holes in bagels and donuts. That was my job, and it was a very important job. I used to punch holes in bagels and donuts.
I've got to ask people: is there any good reason for the hole in a bagel? Can someone Google that or some shit?
I don't know.
But
I think-
I don't like it. I'd rather there wasn't a hole there. I think it's tasty. I think it tastes good. It's all perfect apart from the stupid hole in the
Maybe
middle.
it boils better like that. I don't know, because they boil them, don't they? That's how you get a bagel. You boil it.
Is that what that is? Is that why they? What was that bread, Lou? You see in Fargo in season 2, there's this bread. You know, in that, you know the villains that run that place in the States, and they're always eating this bread and they're tearing chunks off this bread, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's a German
so
thing.
nice.
I think that's a German thing, bro.
Oh, what, like is it a brioche?
It's bobbly. It's like bobbly bread.
Because brioche is like half bread, half cake, innit?
It's probably like biscuit or cornbread or something like that. Or
Yeah.
what do they call that shit?
Oh, well done.
Do you know what I mean?
No, sorry. Hold that thought. Smoking Pope said the hole in the bagel is because it makes it easier for the dough to cook. Because it's so thick. Lovely. Okay, well that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Oh, a deep fried chip butty. Now that's a northern thing if ever I've heard it.
Rolled in,
Deep fried chip butty. Oh, God.
Listen, Northerners are wearing me up this week. All right, so I'm not usually.
rolled
I'm
in
forgiving.
dripping.
That is a northern thing, isn't it?
Oh,
a
bruv.
deep fried chip butty.
Yeah, but rather than, you know, when they roll it, they put batter on it. So batter and then rolling it in dripping. You know, the crusty bits pulled out of the fryer and then frying it again. I can't think of anything so
fucking
bad.
hell. And then smothering it in cheese.
And then gravy, bruv.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You Northerners, man.
gravy.
Fucking hell.
Cheesy chips and gravy. Fucking hell. Animals. Absolute animals.
Nah, the worst one for me was like, first I heard about the Mars bar, deep frying a Mars bar, but they used to do that in the East End, to be honest as well, if you go certain places, and then I heard about deep fried pizza, and I was just like, get the fuck out of it.
I know, a London pizza. They had the cheek to call it a London pizza.
I
as
know,
well.
London
A London pizza. I was like, we don't fucking eat that here.
No,
You animals. There's no way in the world. They get a pizza, right? I swear down, it's up north.
yeah.
You can go up Newcastle, Sunderland, like right in between it, Jarrah, somewhere like that, right? And you can get a London pizza. And what they do, they bang a load of kebab meat over it, like a pizza. Get a pizza, bang a load of kebab meat over it, then a load of
This
chips.
is gruesome. Oh my
Okay,
god.
yeah,
just
no,
listen.
Then a
no.
load of chips.
No, gospel. I was there.
Then you put some batter on it, and then you deep fry it.
No.
No, honestly. Honest.
What's honest?
You're making it up.
I
Swear.
swear.
Thanks for the lemon, Missy
What
75.
with kebab?
and they call it a London pizza.
Mhm.
Where did they get the London bit from? What
I don't
makes
know.
Never heard of
I've
it.
never fucking heard of it. That's what I said to the fella. I've never fucking heard of it, and I'm from London. What are you talking about?
that with a barge pole?
We're getting called pussies right now because of what we're saying. Is that Toon Lady? It's Toon
Right.
Laffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's lovely. She's lovely.
Yeah, I know she is. She's quality.
But fuck that. I ain't eating that.
Hey, Poppy.
That northern, I've never, when I went up north, I have never seen so many fucking Gregs in one area. I swear to God, right? There's this shopping centre in Sunderland,
right, as you go in it, you imagine like Lakeside, Vin. You must have been Lakeside or Blue Water or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, of course, right? So it's like that, but half the size. So there's no, no top floor. It's just one small floor. You go there. You walk it in. There's a Greggs.
Yeah.
Outside of the fucking opening doors, the shuttering doors, whatever, right? Then you go in. Then there's another Greggs inside of it. And as you get to the other end of it, you walk out, there's another Greggs. In the same fucking bit.
Thanks for the follow, Smoky Post.
London does like what London does with Costa McDonald's, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like with Costas and all that, yeah. It's Greggs though. Up there,
When
Greggs.
we were kids, though, it was in it. Like one road would have 3 Starbucks on it.
Yeah. It's just like that. Just like, because we've sort of took after New York, but the North have still got their own thing going on with pastry. Like their love of
They've got
pastry.
their own thing going on in general. These people have got their own thing going on in fucking general, Lou.
Deep fried pizza. I can't think of anything so unhealthy.
Yeah, that's it.
Like pizza is so unhealthy. Well, to be honest, a pizza every now and again, it's not that bad. Yeah, you can do it. If you did it every day, you're looking at damage.
Pizza with kebab meat is bad enough. Anyone who's eating pizza with kebab meat needs to stop it immediately.
Then
Yeah?
chips.
But if you're about to then put it, if you're about to then put that in a deep fat fryer, you're gonna die within months if you keep that up.
Yeah,
Buy you.
it's so bad, man. It's so bad. But we've got Poppy in the house as well, Poppy Lane. We've got
Pop Lane.
Tactician. Thanks for the follow,
Right,
Smoking Pope.
Big up Tactician, by the way. Big up Tactician and Jeff Allen for sticking up for me in that room.
Well done,
It
lads.
was
Nice
quite
one.
honourable. I got sent screenshots of it by someone. I won't say who, unless they want me to. But cheers to him and Jeff Allen. Jeff Allen, you absolute fucking legend. Me and Vinny love you. And this is to you, dudes.
Nice one, lads.
Lou got,
Appreciate it.
Lou got me pissed last weekend.
Oh, he did.
Not much. I mean, he didn't give me much, but I don't drink much anymore, and he gives me the top grade. So you don't need to drink much of it, and it takes effect.
Yeah.
How
He was
lovely
loving
it
that
was.
single barrel JD, mate. That was fucking unreal. And you know what? You know what? For someone that don't drink that much, his palate ain't bad. He guessed what it was. Like he sat there and he was like, and then he's like, "This is whiskey." I was like, "Yes." And he's like,
You should have went, no, wrong.
It's like, "That's American whiskey. That's definitely not Scotch." And I was like, "Yeah, there you go." And he guessed it. He's like, "Is it JD?" Like, and I was like, "Yes, it is, but it's not like the old number 7. It's the single barrel beer." But yeah, he got it. I'll give it to him. For someone that don't drink it, it's got a decent palate.
It's only because I've drunk a lot of scotch. I've not drunk so many drinks that I know. I've just drunk enough whiskey and JD from when they don't have whiskey to have made the evaluation.
Missy 75. She's my Twitter friend.
I was going to say, right, she's given us a lemon, and now she's asking, thank you, by the way, for the lemon. What is a lemon?
She's getting lemon, mate.
I don't know what
lemon.
a lemon is either.
What's a lemon? And how do
I
I
just
send-
know it's some sort of donation. So, but thank you for that.
Well, what they don't realise is a lemon is actually £50 a go. So by the time they realise, they're fucked.
Is
Yeah,
it?
you're just completely robbing them out of their bank accounts right now.
Ah, fuck
No,
it.
it's not really. I'm joking.
I was going to say, I know
Really
it's
not.
not 50 quid, but
Who
I
was
know it's
shitting
some sort
himself
of
there? He's
donation.
thinking, what have I done?
Oh my god.
Hello, Liverpool. Greg's in Derby is open till 2 a.m.
I'm roasted.
Jesus fucking Christ. Who wants a chicken pasty at 2 in the morning?
Chicken pasty.
Have you
I
been to
mean,
Derby?
Yeah. Only in the
Have you
north.
been there?
I've not
Right.
been. Yeah, we've been through Derby, me and Fonz.
It was one of the most horrific times of my life. Never, right? I've faced some situations. but not one person in Derby didn't want to ask me where you're from. They knew where I was from. They knew fucking well where I was from, but they was all angry by my existence being in Derby, in the nightclubs, in the pubs. Just we're going back like 10 years, longer than that, 15 years.
Yeah.
But I just remember everyone was pissed off. There was a Londoner there at the time. Anyway,
I felt like that a couple of times when we was in Newcastle. But the funny thing it was, right, it wasn't.
We ended up up in 4 of them.
Yeah, but it wasn't really directed at me.
do us a favour,
It was
Luke,
mainly
yeah?
our friend. I'm not going to say his name. But it was Lou would know who I'm talking about. But it was mainly him. He kept getting dirty looks. He kept getting, like, sort of, you know, not too many times. But anyway, that was why we had the fight, was because of him again. So, but he had a fight outside the club. I think it was called the Crystal Spider or something. Luke will back me on that, or correct me.
Oh, were you on about?
Yeah. So he had a little fight there when we weren't there, a little argument, and then obviously we got in the fight because of the lot you're talking about.
Yeah, mate.
Thanks for the ice cream.
Yeah, what's happening?
Right.
What's the favourite?
At one point, I went and got on a night bus in Derby, right? And it was like the worst luck in the world. About 5 lads got on, all wearing white shirts, covered in blood. They all come and sit round me and me mate who I was staying with, you know, start talking. 2 of them whip out koshes. Like, yeah, where you from, mate? I'm like, yeah, London. And it's just this sort of conversation. And somehow they got off the bus. You know, it was one of them ones where you just don't know if you're going to get off this bus. There's 5 lads all going, what the fuck are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. They've already had a row. You know, well, that went well. Could have gone a lot worse.
That's why you should always carry one of these things.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
People don't really
What's he got?
mess with you for some reason.
I can't see what he's got. What you got? What you got? I didn't see it.
Oh, a tomahawk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you carry one of them, people tend to leave you alone. Give you a bit of a
the old Bill don't.
Nah, I was going to say the old Bill won't leave you alone.
SWAT don't, yeah.
Thanks for the follow, Rusky. 77. Jesus.
Nah, I've only got this because part of the subject matter tonight is about Native Americans. So I was just going to shaft some of them. By the way, perfectly legal to own in the UK.
Cheers,
there's no issues with that. As long as you've got it in your house and you're not walking about on the street like a fucking idiot, you know, using one of these or using it for the wrong reasons, you are perfectly safe. And that's a legitimate thing. You can own one of them. So, bollocks to DLive and all the rest of them. You're perfect within your legal limits to own one.
They don't want you to be fucking strong no more. Bar carry and a 45 ACP. Oh, mate. 1911 is my favourite handgun. I really want to own one day. 1911. 1911, yeah. You know the US World War gun. It was World War II, wasn't it? Someone will correct me there.
I might be.
I love it. It's a beautiful gun.
Well, we shall see. Or a good old AK, yeah, a good old AK. Maybe say like that. AR-15 if you're in America. But yeah, let's get on to the Native Americans then, because I've been reading a really, really, really interesting book, and I'm probably about halfway through, maybe. And it's called The Empire of the Summer Moon. I've probably mentioned it on other podcasts and stuff like that, because I have gone on about this a bit. But fucking hell, is that shit good. But what I wanted to do, sort of touch on, was this sort of oversimplified and overused sympathy for the Native Americans. Because obviously Europeans went over to America before it was the United States, before it was, you know, North America, South America, and, you know, all these names we gave it. And sort of what we're told is we wiped them out, you know, done all this. That's not entirely true, and it's not the way that they portray it in the films, that they're these noble men that are just fighting for their homeland and to keep it, you know, nice and all this thing, right? First of all, these weren't noble people. They didn't have the same morals as we do, or we did, and especially not back then. I mean, they weren't, you know, the type of fighters that would, you know, meet someone somewhere and have a fight and sort of walk away and it was all men. No, like women, children were fair game, and they did horrific things to women and children. Like, it's no wonder the white man, or whatever they call us, you know, like the way they portray it, it's no wonder they retaliated in the way they did, because of the things that was happening to the Europeans that was going over there settling or stealing land, whichever way you want to paint it. It was the way of the world then, and it wasn't all one-sided at all.
Let me say, Lou,
Yeah,
it would have been
thanks for the lemon.
far easier. It was far easier to work with African tribes who were selling their own as slaves than it was the Native Americans, who were very aggressive, very tribal, and they were a different breed altogether. They were more like that of a Viking. They had a warrior mindset.
Very much like the Vikings.
They would impress each other with war. A bit like the you know, in Mexico, where slavery and death and beheading empowered the man, whereas other societies weren't like that. Where you just looking in on an Apache lifestyle, you'd think, how can I work with these people when that's how they treat each other? It's not a society you want to work with. So
yeah, the Indians were, as Smoking Pipe said, they were constantly fighting. Yeah. And this is how it went down. The Spanish went over there to settle, and the Spanish conquistadors and you know, the Spanish Empire went over there to settle, and they were there before anyone else, like before any other Europeans started going over there, and they were getting absolutely slaughtered by this guerrilla warfare, particularly the Comanches. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Take that one back. Before the Spanish got there, the Comanches were a pretty low tier tribe. They didn't really do that well. They were small. They were pretty pathetic, and didn't have much going on. But the Spanish were going over there to settle, and you know, rather than fighting all the time, what they were trying to do was to convert these savages, as they called them, to Catholicism. So they were on these missionaries, you know, building these places up and trying to convert the natives. Some of the natives would go for it. Some of the natives were made as slaves. But most of the time, it was the natives absolutely smashing the granny out of the Spanish and fucking them up like tenfold, because they didn't fight like them. They were used to the European style of fighting, which was marching in, you know, lines in numbers with these spears and all that. And the natives weren't like that. They fucking hit you when you weren't expecting it, and, you know, done raids at night and stuff like that. Hence why the name Empire of the Summer Moon, because they would do it in moonlight. They were better fighting in the moonlight, where no one could see them, but they could see everything because they were so used to it. And stuff like that, like, you know, hitting them up and fucking taking all their stuff. And what they would do is pretend to be friendly with the Spanish, go there, and the Spanish would give them gifts. So here you go, like, you know, here's all your things and all this. And then they'd come back the week later, poncing. They would ponce off the Spanish until the Spanish said, no more, not today.
But they had no concept of poncing. They didn't realise that they're taking the absolute
once the Spanish said no, that's when they would come back and
that's war. But when the mistake the Spanish made was giving people that live under a truly tribal instinct, that's submission. That's not trade. So, and when you stop submitting, it's like not paying the mafia money. They, in their eyes, you've come to them to say, we're paying you so we can be here. They're not speaking the same language as the man who wants to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly it. And then they would start slaughtering them. So, in the end, the Spanish got absolutely wiped out of North America because they turned on them. The natives there turned on them, slaughtered them. There was a mass slaughtering, and that's what let the horse out. Because before the Spanish got there were no horses in America, none. No horses on that continent whatsoever.
Wow, I didn't fucking know that.
Yes, 100% fact.
I know there weren't, yeah.
100% fact. And what they were, the horses that managed to survive there, which the Spanish had learned through generations of going there, were these Asian, like, Arabian horses.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They were used.
Oh, you're breaking up there. So repeat what you said because you broke up. Whoa. Repeat what you said because you're breaking up.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah, okay.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, go repeat.
So the horses that thrived there were the Arabian horses, those sort of Asian horses, because they were used to the arid desert environments and stuff like that. So they thrived there. So when the Indians, I forgot what ones they were like, may have been Aztecs. Someone have to fact check me on that one. But they killed all the Spanish, took all the valuables and the food, and then just let the horses go. And the Comanches and the Apaches had been watching the Spanish and the way they were with the horses.
Yeah.
And had learned from them how to tame a horse, and had figured out, not as well, but to make these saddles that weren't as well groomed and weren't as well presented as the Spanish saddles, but they were good. And had learned that, so they learned to break horses and all that. And then that's what put the Apaches and the Comanches, particularly the Comanches, at the top of the Native American food chain. They were the top dogs after they mastered the horses, because no one had quite mastered the horses like they could. They did things that no one else could. They used to tame them really quickly. And what they'd do is they'd tie a rope around the horse's neck, choke them out, drop them to the floor, and as the horses come round, they'd stroke them and sort of make them feel like.
Oh mate, something's up with your connection, man. You're gonna have to check that shit.
And then they'd. Am I
Look at him! Did you see him, Con?
What?
Where you was breaking up, Lou. Honestly, you should have seen your face.
No, I didn't see it. It's going to come up in a second.
Did it
Oh,
pause
it
on
was
some
amazing.
weird frame?
Oh, it was amazing, honestly.
So basically, the Comanches and that would break horses and tame horses like better than anyone else, and then they would do things with them that no one else could. Like they what is it? You seen it?
Yeah, so I'm sorry about it. I wouldn't normally do that, but that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Hold on. What's the time?
Screenshot it.
No, I will put it on a clip. So 49 minutes. I've got to remember 49 minutes. All right, I'll put it in.
Yeah.
Little thing.
Screenshot it or do
Sorry,
something.
Lou. Sorry, mate. It was too
Nah,
funny.
it's alright.
You'll laugh
It's
when
alright.
you see it, man.
Funny.
So you were saying that they choked these horses out?
Yeah. What I'll do, I'll chuck my screen off for a sec. There you go. Is that better? Yeah. Because you know what it is? It's because it's raining outside.
Yeah.
It's where it's pissing down outside. It's fucking with my
You
with
sound
my
a lot
thing.
better now.
Yeah, I bet I do. I bet that's so much better, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's left me just there, man. I think you should just whack it on.
Everyone look at Fonz.
No,
Everyone stop
don't.
what you're doing.
Please.
Just look at Fonz.
I'll chuck me right in the middle there.
No, that's good. That's good. As long as you can hear me. So anyway, the Comanches, they could tame horses and ride horses better than anyone else, and they had these tactics that they learned where they can ride along and shoot arrows off of the horse and hit something like without a problem, especially a person, you know, something as large as a person. So they mastered this technique of shooting arrows while moving. So, for example, when the Americans and the Indians were sort of interacting with each other, the Americans had heard about their amazing archery, so they'd, you know, put something like a can or something like that on the thing and say, "Yeah, go on, shoot it," and the Comanche would be standing there and shoot it and would miss and not hit it. But put him on a horse, he'd ride past the thing and fucking hit it every time. It's a completely different way of shooting. We're used to that European style where we stand there, aim, shoot.
Yeah.
They're doing things while they're moving. So it's a completely different technique. You know, they'd be absolutely rubbish in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But put them in a fucking pitch battle, and they're annihilating 6 geezers in a. You know, they've done these sort of things, and they'd even like tie a thong around the horse's neck, or you know, around the mouth. So it's like a noose, a thong thing, and they would ride and put their whole body slanted on the side of the horse, riding next to an American fighter, and all you'd see is his foot sticking up at the top of the horse because he's on the side of it, and then he'd shoot round the front of the neck of the horse and hit the geezer. So he's not going to shoot because he ain't got a target to shoot at apart from the horse. So the horse is the shield, and these people could do these things, and you know, be on the saddle and ride backwards and do mad things with a horse, and that's how they became like the superpower of the West, you know, and that's what happened out there. These Comanche, like, believe it or not, when the Europeans were going over to America, they were actually settled in California before they were in Texas. And it's all because of these Comanche. They were the most fearsome and most ferocious. But moving on with that, what I'm saying about these Indians and the way they were,
yeah,
I feel a lot less sorry for them than I once did, because of reading this book and the accounts and the stuff they did. And they definitely earned the name savages. Believe me on that one, people. Empire of the Summer Moon, and you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'll give you like a brief rundown of it. There was a family called the Parker family that was settling in Texas, and they'd been somewhere else before that. I think they were from sort of like the middle of America, and they were quite a prominent family. So they started settling out there in Texas, because Texas was the last frontier of the Wild West. That was the last place to be tamed. Texas was a fucking rough place. It was seriously bad because of the Indians and the Mexicans coming from the south. There was a lot of wars that went on in Texas. They had the Republic of Texas, do you know what I mean? Under that Sam Houston. He was the governor of that area. And they were their own country, essentially. And you had the Texas-American War, and then they were still fighting hundreds of years later with these Comanches. And it was a bit of a schneedy move by the Mexicans, actually. They actually told white settlers to, yeah, you can have this land, and like, it's well cheap, we'll give it to you for like practically fuck all. And that was only to get the white people, the Anglo-Europeans, to go there, so that they would work as a shield.
Oh, fuck.
Schneedy bastards, yeah. So this Parker family, they settled and they built this fort. And for some reason, they were really laxy-daisy about the security of this fort. So the Comanches turned up and they had a white flag. That's how they would trick the white men into sort of letting them be around. The white flag, you know, peace. What's happening here then, you know, kind of thing, having a chat with these people. And the leader of the Parker clan come out and said, yeah, you know, we're here, how can we help you, kind of thing. And then they started surrounding him with their horses and shit, and they were lancing him, stabbing the geezer repeatedly with these lances and just sort of torturing him, tormenting him. And that's when the other people realised, look, we've got to get out of here. So some of them tried fleeing out the back of the fort because they was already in the gates where they'd left it open lackadaisically. And they absolutely savaged them. They butchered the men, scalped them, cut their dicks off, shoved their dicks in their mouth. And all in front of the children, by the way, as well. Made the kids watch it. Then gang raped Granny Parker one by one and made the kids watch. If they looked away, they got hit. And then they hit the kids like they were adults. There was a little 18-month-old, what was his name? Something like Johnny Parker, something like that. And they punched the mum, as the mum's recounted this in a diary. This is how we know this stuff, because while she was a captive, she'd write out a diary, and she kept account of this. And this was her little baby, her youngest son, and they hit him like he was a man. She said, I you know, they held me down and would hit him. Like he was a man. Like my kids survived blows I didn't think they could. You know, didn't think it was possible for a child to survive. Yeah, made them watch the gang rape of their nan and stabbed her in the tit. She survived, so she gave an account of what happened, and it all ties up with. So we know it's fact. We know it's true. For any lefties that are going to say, "Oh, it's all made up," yeah, all right. And then took all the children captive, killed all the babies. Babies were killed. This was Indian custom. You killed children, you killed men. They were no good. Women were gang raped, then killed. And sort of between the ages of like sort of 6 and 14, kids were kept because they could be converted into Indians. Yeah, like, you know, program kind of thing. Sometimes they keep them a bit younger than that. But they took the mum, gang raped her, and had like a ceremony after this, because what the Comanches would do, they'd hit a place and then ride as far as they could. They were never stationary. They never had a permanent camp. They were total nomads. So all they would do is ride around and camp wherever they could. So they rode well far out, gang raped the mum repeatedly in front of the kids, stripped her naked, made her walk with a rope tied around her neck, hands tied behind her back.
It's all getting a bit bloody intimate, isn't it?
I'm just telling you, this is what happened. This is why I've completely. Not completely, but I have very little sympathy for them now. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, but what did you expect? If you keep doing things like that, eventually the Texans were just going to fucking fuck you up, man. Like, which they did, which I'll get to. This isn't a one-sided thing. This isn't where I'm saying the natives were complete savages and they deserved everything they got. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it wasn't this one-sided slaughtering we're led to believe at all. Yeah. At all. And I know I'm getting a bit grim and dark, and I apologise to the people.
Let me say that the Native Americans didn't really write things down. So we only know what we did to them because of, you know. Victors do write history.
This is what historians have managed to piece together from the accounts of the Parker family. This is just one story, by the way. There was far worse. But yeah, they eventually took the little boy away from the mum with him screaming "mother, mother," and he shipped off with another Comanche tribe, with another. They were called bands. That's what they were called. They'd live in bands, but they were still Comanches, and they gave him these other people. Then they burned a load of the captives because they actually enjoyed torture and killing people. Like how we Europeans have, if we see a kid pulling the legs off a bug, we always tell them, why are you doing stuff like that? That's horrible. They're not taught that. They're taught to actually enjoy the screams of pain from people. That's what they were before they're civilized. This is all just normal practice to them. This is absolutely normal. There is nothing for that time. There was nothing wrong with what they were doing in their minds. It was completely a totally normal thing. They kept her a prisoner, this woman, for years and years and years. But at the time, she was pregnant by her husband, who was killed in the raid.
I'll be back.
He was scalped and had his cock cut off and put in his mouth as well. He was killed, and she was pregnant by him at the time. So while she was captive and used as a slave to work on to do leather works, the women were particularly nasty to her because she'd have to spend most of her time with the women, so they'd sort of delegate all their jobs to her and beat her if she didn't do it in time, stuff like that. Pregnant, she gave birth, and they let her keep it for 7 weeks while they decided what to do with it. And then the big chiefs of the tribe had a meeting, and then they came into her. 6 of the guys, there were 7 of them, 6 of the guys held her down, and one of the guys took the baby and strangled it till it stopped moving and gave it back to her. And a little bit later on, it started showing signs of life. They took it back off of her and dragged it along on the back of a horse tied to a rope through prickly pear till the baby was dead. So, and that was, they just knew they couldn't keep the baby because she wasn't doing her chores in time, because she was having to stop for the baby to feed it and whatnot. And that's how that went down. And she was kept. I think I'll leave it there, but trust me, people, if you read this book, and it's the truth, it's not a book to put down the Native Americans or anything like that. It's just to give you the truth of actually what happened.
Yeah.
So all these films about Geronimo, Dances with Wolves, or as Andy is called, Dances with Puffs, Pocahontas, all this other things. It's all complete nonsense. Yeah. It's all complete, absolute fallacy. This was not a one-sided war. And then we get to the Texans. Now, the Texans were quite a resilient bunch back in the day. They'd had the Mexican Wars, they'd had all these other type of wars, and this was just an absolute fighting nation, because it was a nation at one point. And there was a guy called... what was his name? Marion Bonaparte Lamar, I think was his name. Here we go. This is the guy, and he's very unassuming by his. Whoa, what's this? They give me the wrong guy. No, I've saved it on Wikipedia earlier. Bonaparte Lamar, and he was an absolute savage himself. He was
I don't know if you can see him there. Oh, hang on, I ain't got my camera on. I'll put my camera on just for a second so I can show you this guy.
Leave it on.
But he's almost smirking in his picture. In his leather-clad clothes and all this, and he was preceded by Sam Houston and succeeded by Sam Houston, but his name was Mirabeau Bonaparte Lamar. Was an attorney born in Georgia who became a Texas politician, poet, diplomat, and soldier. He was a leading Texas political figure during the Texas Republic era. He was elected as second president of the Republic of Texas after Sam Houston, and he was known for waging war against the bands of Cherokee and Comanche peoples to push them out of Texas, and for establishing a fund to support public education. But he went on the absolute warpath against these people. And his style of fighting was more suited to defeat them rather than the more honourable styles of fighting. He would just raid villages and kill everyone inside and make this stuff happen and tell other governors to do the same. You know, listen, here's your orders. If you want to beat these people, this is how we've got to do it. And it was all in retaliation to what they were doing. You know, this wasn't, the Europeans didn't arrive and were automatically aggressive. It was the other way around, which is understandable. You know, if people was invading your lands, what would you do? You know, I know we're expected to do different these days with illegal migrants coming over and all this. We're exposed to, you know, we just let the government deal with it. Don't worry about it. You know, we're not meant to defend our lands anymore for some reason. But that's how it was out there. This was the Wild West, and this was real fucking war. And Bonaparte, yeah, he just, not to be fair to him, but the way they dealt with it, they would leave women and children alone. Like they were free to go. They only killed the men. You know, that was unless they had to, which a few of the times they had to, because the children were just as deadly with a bow and arrow as the men. They were taught very young how to shoot these fucking things. And there was one story from Texas, which these Native Americans were used to the Spanish settlers, who were far more friendly than these people from Texas. So they turned up there with 2 children and a few women to sort of negotiate, and they were looking to ponce, essentially, to get some gifts and maybe do some trading. I think they came with skins and stuff like that to trade. And this general said to him, you know, in a meeting, look, you're here for trading and whatever else, that's fine, but you're going to have to free some of the prisoners you've got, because we've heard you've got 15 of our people prisoners. So, all right, sweet, no worries, we'll come back. And they came back with 1 prisoner. And this was a woman, and she'd been badly burnt all over her body. And they'd cut her nose off to the bone and burnt that shut. And it turned out this was a general's daughter that had been taken in an Indian raid. And he'd actually gone to a camp to find her and raided this camp, this Indian camp, to find his daughter. And he was calling out her name, and she heard him. She was shouting back, but because there was so much noise and so much fighting going on, he never heard her. And the Indians managed to escape with her. So there'd already been something going on with this, you know, with this girl, and she'd been missing a good few years now. But they'd actually absolutely tortured her, and they even had captive her 6-year-old sister, like a younger sister. And turned up to this thing to do some negotiations on a day. And the Indians sort of said, like, we've brought you your captives. This was the only one we could get. Well, the Texans didn't believe them and said, no, you know what? We're going to take you captive now because you're you know, you haven't come through. We gave you 12 days to you know, sort this out, and you haven't come through with it. You've only brought one captive with you. We're going to take yous and make you know, the rest of your tribe bring the captives back. Then we'll let you go. Well, they didn't have it. The chief just jumped up and fucking started stabbing people. So the soldiers poured in, and then this massive fight ensued. And it went on for 30 minutes, this fight, in the middle of this Texas town.
Which is a long time for a fight, isn't it?
Yeah, like a proper Wild West showdown with this fucking tribe. But even the women and children were getting involved and started attacking onlookers. And one of the kids, there was only 2 children there, he shot a judge in the heart with an arrow and killed him in this fight. And they had to kill the kids and the women and children. They managed to keep some of them alive and put them in prison. They kept escaping. And they sent one woman back on a horse with some rations and said, look, go and tell them to release all our prisoners. Come bring the prisoners to this town and we'll release your guys and we'll call it quits. And she went back, and one of the white captives there had jotted down what had happened. He was keeping a diary as well. It's very common back then to keep diaries amongst Europeans. And this is how they can recount this stuff.
Remember where you are. Sorry, remember where you are. So basically, from what you're saying, what I'm kind of gathering is in any fucking film or, you know, program or whatever in modern times which represents Native Americans, they portray them as Europeans, like morally.
Yeah, they're hardly, apart from Bone. If you ever watch Bone Tomahawk, which is a decent film to watch, actually, it's weird, but watch it. It's still good with Kurt Russell, that guy from what was it called? Lost. What was his name? Something Fox. Matthew Fox. There you go. It's his best role by far, by the way. Matthew Fox. Best thing I've ever seen him in.
Yeah.
He's seriously good in that. So is Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's always awesome in a Western. But yeah, it's they're portrayed as these sort of noble,
morally right guys. Yeah, and it's like, kids, you stay at home. I've got to go and fight these Westerners because they're taking over our land. When really it'd be like, you're coming with me, son, because you can fight too.
We were taking over their land though, and there was some schneedy stuff done by us as well. Trust me. When we didn't keep up with agreements for settlements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a bit of that. There was a bit of shadiness, but don't think they were these completely innocent victims.
Well, after you telling me they turn up with white flags and then they were like, "Oh, we're innocent," and then start fighting you and raping your women and children, then it don't matter.
They used dirty tactics by our standards. Yes, by our standards. But that's the way they was, and that's the way they had to do it. And they were killing each other long before we were there. Really butchering each other and doing the same thing. They didn't just do this, you know, with the raping of the women and the killing of the children and the babies and the men cutting it. They did that to everyone. It wasn't exclusively something done to whites or anything like that. It was just that's what they did in war. That's the way they treat people. So anyway, they sent this Native American woman back to pass on the message. And they acted weird, apparently. They started cutting each other, cutting themselves, and crying and doing all this. And they slashed their own arms, even to the point of killing themselves, some of them, because they'd lost their tribal leader, like their chief, in the fight, and a few other, you know, big leaders and prominent people with these things. They started killing themselves. And then they turned on all the captives, and even that 6-year-old little girl, she was roasted slowly alive. They just burned her, and a load of the others as well, butchered them and burned them, rather than give them back. It wasn't seen as a negotiation thing. The people had already been killed, so they didn't care about the rest of them. They just just did weird practices. They really did earn the name savages, trust me.
This wasn't.
Sounds
Don't
like it.
don't ever believe that this was some one-sided slaughtering of the native people. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. They absolutely smashed the Spanish and smashed loads of white European settlers over there. Like all the time. It was very common for an Indian raid, and they wrecked us until the repeating rifle came along, and that really changed things.
Yeah.
Because we had them musket loaders, and they were, you had to pour the powder in and fight in lines. That was the only way the muskets was going to work if you did it, in turns. So you shoot, you draw back, they come forward. The Indians weren't fighting like that. They were charging in, and they would aim for, when they were raiding a European settlement, they would aim for the horses and get rid of the men's horses in camp. So there'd be this camp of soldiers, European soldiers, and they'd put their horses in like a stable kind of thing. So they would stay there. They'd go straight for the horses and let them go because they knew they were fucked without the horses. They didn't learn from it. So the natives had great success against us for years and years and years, hundreds of years. Great successes. And were really brutal. They'd torture people, and they weren't, you got to think, when that stuff happens, then stories start.
Yeah.
Then people are passing on the myth. Oh, did you hear what happened at camp so-and-so? Oh, they slaughtered them and then raped the women and killed the children, and they've still got the kids, tortured them, blah blah blah, stuff like that. These messages would get back. What do you think that's going to do? It's going to create resentment, right?
Mate, yeah, like if I heard, anything of the sort of a full-grown man punching a child like they're a full-grown man, 18-month-old, I don't care what happens to that guy from then on. I hope that he was put on a fire and slow roasted. Like, I don't give a shit what happens to that guy.
But he might be a nice guy away from battle. He's just at work once. Why are you being
made
so?
A mistake, yeah. Just mistakenly punched the kid. He was aiming for the woman, but missed, and then punched the kid.
No, he's working though, mate. He's just at work. When he's out of work, he might be a perfectly nice bloke. He might be a good laugh, but he's just making a living at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, there was a hell of a lot more successful people against the Native Americans. We always hear about General Custer, don't we? Everyone's heard of General Custer. Even though he lost in the end, he got a bit arrogant. But there was far more successful people than him. That Bonaparte Lamar, he brutalised them. He absolutely took it to them and started fighting their way, except for he didn't, order the killings of women and children. He always said let them go or take them prisoner.
As far as we know, Lou.
Victor's right history. Winston Churchill himself said that.
I'm going by the transcripts and the evidence we have. That's all I'm going by. But
Churchill's got a bloody cheek saying that.
That's exactly my point, Vinny. Exactly my point. He said that. That's his most famous quote. Well, maybe not.
No, he's got some brilliant quotes. As much as I detest him, he had some brilliant quotes, which I'm not going to give credit to. I'm not going to bother saying.
But that is one of his, and I always look at that one. I go, fucking hell, that just tells you, doesn't it? It's true. Victor's right history.
It's true. One sec, boys. Just got to turn the kids' telly off.
Okay.
I forgot.
So yeah, man, it sounds like these savages truly were savages, and fucking hell, man. No wonder things turned like that, and now they're sort of no more. Their culture. It's like, well, I say no more. It's always going to be fucking. Everyone, look, it's mystical, it's exciting, it's blah blah blah. But then when you get to the nitty gritty, you're sort of like, oh, actually, fuck that. Getting kids to fight in wars and that. It's like, we detest that shit. We look at the Middle East and go, fuck you guys for doing that.
They all do it. They all do it.
Yeah.
We've had our time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you what, it's a fucking interesting book. Because it's not biased in any way. It's really refreshing to actually read something and not have any bias in it. All he's giving you is the facts and the accounts and the the diaries and the historical, the things. The things that are actually there about it, and that's what's really nice about it, is that he's not taking sides on anything. You're just reading it for what it is, and that for me was really refreshing, because I was getting right into a book a little while ago about forensics, and it's written by this Scottish woman.
Yeah.
And going all through it, and there's cool stuff, about blood. DNA, when that came about, thanks to the British, by the way. It's tip our hats to us. We came up with a DNA profile and stuff like that, and then the FBI and people like that got hold of it, and they enhanced it and made it a bit better and started using it for, a culmination of things, sharing information. Fantastic. And then it got onto the skin colour thing about crime. And how black people are, sort of stitched up for crimes and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? It just came out of nowhere. And I was like, why the fuck are they lying about this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but policemen ain't out
who
there
those,
arresting droves of black people for no reason other than them being black. I was just like, what is this fucking nonsense?
You know who those Indians needed? They needed some Viking treatment.
I'm sure they pretty much got it in the end, but
They did.
Not quick enough.
Not quick
Quick enough.
What was the book name again, please? Not just anyone. Poppy's asking.
The Empire of the Summer Moon.
Empire of the Summer Moon.
Empire of the Summer Moon.
Summer.
Absolutely fantastic book. Well worth reading. Honestly, it's a bit
done,
dark.
Danny Byrne.
It's a bit dark, with the stuff that happened to kids and stuff like that. But it is what happened.
No, we need to know that stuff, because the liberals are always talking out about it, and even I've spoke about it at times, saying I did believe it at the time when Trump was putting up the wall. Like, got some cheek sort of saying that when you've wiped out, because I did sympathise for him. I did. It's like quite a bit, and I was sort of like, you're meant to be the land of the free, and you're putting up walls and blah 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 and blah. So that's how I did think. By the way, Americans on there, and you're not going to like that. I don't think like it anymore. By the way,
but read the book, make up your own mind.
Especially now I've heard that, because I obviously, growing up, Dad always used to show us like films, like Dances with Wolves and other things, and I always had a sort of soft spot for Native Americans. Obviously, as I've grown up and I've done my own research, looked things up, you sort of grow to think it just ain't like that. It just ain't.
That's
ain't
not
as
the way
simple
it went
as that.
down. It's not the way it went down. They weren't these innocent people that were slaughtered for their land. And
No, but Luke, someone rightfully said a minute ago that this is a war we're talking. Viking Essex said this roughly lasted 400 years. So
yeah,
we are taught that we went there with these fantastic guns and just slaughtered them. That's what we're taught. Like it was that easy. Like we fucked these guys over. When in reality, as you've said, we didn't have that fucking repeater rifle at the time. Obviously, once it was made, it was just bang. Viking Essex says dances with puffs. So, so it's like we're taught we just wiped them out, etc., and we're just like, actually, when you look into it and you do your own research, your own digging, things go a completely different fucking way. Oh, I didn't realise. Oh, you've turned it off now. So yeah,
I was just showing off the tomahawk. There were some of the weapons there: tomahawks, knives. Like, honestly, I love the old Native American culture, as in, you know, where they used to wear the feathers, the big feathers, paint their faces black,
yeah,
and they were, you know, amazing warriors with the arrows, and their style of fighting was nigh on unbeatable for such a long time. You got to understand how well they did against us. They absolutely smashed us. This wasn't some one-sided thing. The only reason, you know, if we'd have sent over 3,000 people and that was all we'd ever sent over, it would have been over in a year. The whole thing would have been, because we kept going there, and we just sent over numbers and numbers and numbers of Europeans. And the Spanish got their asses absolutely handed to them by these Native Americans, to the point where they wiped them out. They you know, took them all out. That whole conquistador empire. They were wrecked, absolutely gone, and let their horses out. And that was like the 16th century. So they got fucked up, and then you know, then obviously the Anglo-Europeans started going there, and we had better success than the Spanish. But it wasn't until sort of most of the West and all that was conquered, the last sort of man standing for the Indians was the Comanches, because they were just far more brutal and far better fighters than anyone else was. It wasn't until the Texans sort of got people like that Bonaparte, Lamar, Mackenzie, General Mackenzie. If you want to look him up, he fucked them up. Yeah. It wasn't until them guys sort of come along, and the Texans sort of said, "No, fuck this. We're not having this. We're going to go after them." And what they used to do, actually, as well, the white men over there, they used to use there was a certain tribe of Native Americans that were cannibals, but they were also mortal enemies of the Comanches and the Apaches and the was it the Navajos?
Navajo. They're
maybe.
Navajo are meant to be the peaceful ones, isn't they? Isn't it?
Yeah, I might have that wrong. There were so many. There were the Sioux, there were the Crows, there was loads.
I did have a road map of all the places where they were. I'll see if I can dig that out.
If you can find that, I want that. Send that to me.
I'll have a quick look whilst we're talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go on. So yeah, you were
someone might even put it in the chat in a minute. But there were certain tribes that were cannibals, but they ended up sort of being befriending the Europeans, and they would help. They would help the white men to track down these Comanches and stuff, because they knew how to track. They knew how to look at tracks and sort of find them and find their camps, because
that
they
must have been a very touchy relationship, Lou. I don't know about you. I know it's a relationship via necessity, but I wouldn't trust cannibals personally.
No, I mean, you got to think though, Vin.
I'm a paranoid person, apparently. You know, that's what people tell me. But
this
when
was the Wild West.
I draw the line.
This is how bad that place was. You'd actually trust a cannibal. That's how bad. That's how bad that was. No, it wasn't the Mohawks, Danny Byrne. It wasn't the Mohawks.
Oh, no. So that's got a load of them. Let me read them out. So Cree, Blackfoot, Crow, Sioux. I don't know how you pronounce that. Cheyenne, Pawnee, Shawnee, Cherokee, Choctaw, Seminole, Apache, Navajo. Yeah, I will do. It's in the chat, but what I'll do is I'll post it to your Telegram or Skype.
Telegram, do. I'm in it.
Telegram. Okay. Incoming Telegram.
I don't like this whole Skype thing. I think it's a bit gay.
Yeah, it probably is, but I just like the way that it works. It just works for me. It's a lot easier to use.
It
What do you
reminds
use,
me of
Jim?
when it reminds me of when you was trying to talk to a bird, like 10 years ago.
You're trying to say I'm outdated?
A little bit, yeah.
You ain't the only one that said that.
I mean, I am awful on a computer, but StreamYard does the trick. With you, you can't
Yeah,
use
but it
YouTube.
leaves
What
that
am I saying? You're on
stupid
StreamYard.
duck logo in the side. At least the fucking
That's
Skype
beef,
one's
is it?
alright. Huh?
The duck logo's your beef, is it?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
right,
like
well,
that. It makes it
you're
look.
you.
It makes it look. And this is really cheeky of me to say using Skype, but it makes it look cheap. Makes it look shitty. You got some
we
stupid
wouldn't
little
want
duck
that.
in the side. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want that, man. I mean, I was more professional than that before. I think Discord would be alright. Discord could work.
Discord's probably the best. That looks the part as well. Discord is a smart little operation. Probably
I
the
do
one.
like Discord. Apparently, Microsoft's going to buy them out.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Sony's looking to buy them out as well. But I think Sony's going really cheap on things lately and
Do you
offering
know who
dumb
admins
offers.
Discord? Have you ever actually seen who the admins of Discord are?
Yeah, I know, proper staunch lefties.
They're called Unicorn Riot, and
Yeah.
they are trans animal things, and
Yeah.
they have orgasms as deer. These are
I
people
know
that will
they're
kick
proper
you out.
lefties.
This is why I can't even say, but usually for me to have an account on there, I have to have aliases with transsexual names and things. It's the only way to keep an account on Discord these days. Well, for me anyway, you can't have Discord if you're a right winger for love nor money.
Let me talk about this. You know them puppy things that people dress up as, yeah? Like dress up
Don't
as
even
dogs and
start.
stuff.
Don't start.
Furries.
No, but
Don't
yeah.
start me
So
off.
I've been in a
Don't
few
start me
Discord. No, I've got to. So I've been in a few Discord things, right? And there's stickers you can see, and things posted of these like animal weird things having sex and whatever. And I'm just like, ain't that classed as bestiality? Shouldn't that be blocked?
It's not just bestiality, right?
It's
If
fucked.
you look at how young some of the animals are in comparison with each other, the
It might have
whole
been the Tonkawa, Sorry, it might have been the Tonkawa Indians. I think Danny Burns right. I was looking at that map and I was thinking, is it the Tonkawa? Is it the Tonkawa? I think it is. Sorry, carry on, boys. Sorry.
What was I saying? I can't remember. I was looking at my phone.
So bestiality,
Oh, it's great. Yeah, bang on. Yeah, but those fuckers that I don't really want to talk about because they just make me livid.
Yeah,
But
I know,
it's-
same.
These are people.
Makes so angry.
Lou knows I hate them.
Bring back the
there's
Native
nothing-
Americans for fuck's sake. These
there's
guys are
nothing
way
worse.
worse.
Than a furry. Honestly, furries.
yeah, that's it, furry.
And if you look at the
Native
cartoon,
Americans are worse.
you'll get an overtly masculine, say, bull, and it'll be doing stuff to a feminine, tiny rabbit. And the whole premise of it just... They say, oh no, it's cartoons. These are cartoons. No, mate, you lot are wrong. That's what you are. Furries
Yeah.
are wrong. They
Yeah.
are. They're, I don't even want to say what they're basically advocating for. Cause
No, I know. Yeah.
I've got no time for these people.
Potatoes!
With their profile pictures, right? And they come in, and people just ignore them. And if I see one, get rid of this filth because there's certain signs they use. You know what they look like, Lou. They have different pictures of foxes or bears, and there's a certain style. And there's a huge community of this. Anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, type in furries, and you won't see their graphic stuff on Google. I imagine maybe you will, but they say it's just harmless cartoons, but it ain't. It really ain't.
No, it is just harmless, dude.
I have a word with yourself. He's such a troll.
This makes me feel sick.
What's wrong with them? They're not hurting anyone.
This secret well, they think they are anyway. They're undercover. Oh, mate,
It's
I'm gonna
not
sneeze.
secret anymore. It's at the point where they're drawing it and having open communities like that. It's not even secret anymore.
Yeah, but they make it
If you
about.
did that,
yeah. Go on.
even 30 years ago,
Yeah,
they'd have all been locked up. They'd have all been in the paper, right?
No, he's right. I totally agree.
Yeah, but Vin, you've been in the paper.
Has Vinny been in the paper?
Entertaining him. I'm not even entertaining him. As if, there's people who've been in the paper for charity. Lee, for instance, was in the paper for being in charity 3 times in 1 year. It's not the same, is it?
Who knows? They just misunderstood me.
I'm certainly not saying I was in the paper for charity. We all know that's not the case. But yeah, that's why I brought up Lee. I diverted from myself.
They just misunderstood the old furries.
Yeah, they are. They're misunderstood, and I'll understand them, mate. That's what I'll do. I'll make them understand.
You gotta admit, furry Paul is kind of hot. Kind of hot.
Why do you do these things? Why do you do this?
Just born cunt.
To me, there's nothing hot about that shit, man. I'm just like, yeah, you just see them, and it's just,
Who does it to wind me up?
These weirdos that live in their fucking mum's basement, and they're just, because they've never had girlfriends, and they'd never have one that would tolerate them.
If my kid becomes a furry, I'm just going to build it a kennel. Go on in.
You know what, Fons? I wish that was who these were.
Yeah. Okay, Vinny just went there.
I wish that's what they were, Fons.
Yeah, because the one that went on ITV or whatever, or BBC or whatever, he was there, and it was like he had a girlfriend and everything. Like he was just an office worker, and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
It's weird.
These are fully grown men.
Are they hurting anyone?
Yes.
I believe you. So, who are they hurting?
First of all, society heavily standards.
Yeah.
Anyone to even look in on that and think that it's normal will create a future thought pattern for a society which is unhealthy. You need to straight away nip that in the bud immediately. Bestiality, weird, young-looking, odd cartoon porn. Nip that in the bud. Anyone responsible for it, you get rid of them. We have to have our standards somewhere, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
These people, I got absolutely no. And honestly, sometimes I'm a walkover. Sometimes I really am sympathetic with people on the opposing side and people that you wouldn't think I would. But furries, I got no time for them, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just degrading. It's just there's nothing good about that shit.
What about the Foxy Bingo advert?
Don't even talk to him, Fons. Move on the subject. Don't even listen to him.
I'm serious. What about the Foxy Bingo
Sadly, you're
advert?
stuck with him because I need more beer and I need a piss.
What's that got to do with penetrating?
He's dressed up as a fox in it, with the moving mouth and all that, and he's like, "Alright, Foxy Bingo."
Is that the same as cartoon penetration porn?
Well, it's gambling, so it's a sin.
You're doing well, Lou. You're doing well.
What? It's true.
It's a sin. I remember that.
It's still degrading. It's
Do
gambling.
you know what? I'm going to start getting start really studying the old scriptures heavily and see if I can find anything on something relating to alcohol, just to fuck you up.
It's not. It's the blood of Christ. I'm drinking his blood.
That's true. The body of Christ. What am I saying? Did you bless it?
Yes.
Ah.
Look, it's in a fact. Look at that. They don't look good, though, Vin. And they love me.
I was really impressed. When I come in, I must admit, I love those little sets you got.
Isn't it lovely? It just is, though, isn't it? It's just a touch of class to a bad habit.
It makes you want to drink it. That's the problem, though.
Yes.
What are we talking about? Come.
That's what.
Do you know what? We were saying the other day.
Now.
We were saying the other day, you have no shame. Like there is no defeat for fonts. There is no defeat for a shameless
No,
man.
I can be offended. I can be. But it has to pop up at the right time. It has to be the perfect thing. I have been offended. Not by you, Vinny.
No, not by Vinny.
I've come close.
I upset him.
I don't think I've been offended by you, Vinny. I mean, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could do it, but it hasn't happened yet.
Never.
Yeah, but that's like, you know, not that you haven't tried that. So there you go. You haven't tried to. So.
All you got to do
Yeah,
when you're men like you two is you establish boundaries. As long as no one goes beyond them boundaries, you're good for years. Like you can't really do much. That's what it is. There's always one person that knows he's going beyond the boundaries of the other man, and they fall out, and then they never get over it.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, and I see it countless times. I've seen it countless times. Someone just oversteps that boundary. As long as you establish boundaries, you know, because we're all fucking, especially on this side of the movement, we're all sort of alphas, all sort of cats, you know. All sort of got that, you know, you can't herd cats.
Yeah.
So you just establish your boundaries, and you should be a bit mindful of them, of others.
Yeah.
And that's it.
How far you can push people.
Don't get it wrong. There's people that can push them further than others, and I do it to Vinny every week. I push his boundaries, and only because it's me, I kind of get away with it. I have annoyed him at times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah.
A couple.
Right? I'm sitting here, like, talking like this when I do it to him all the time. Push his boundaries.
I was going to wait till you finished in it and say that meant nothing. I was going to wait for you to finish your monologue and say it meant absolutely nothing. Like, complete hypocrisy if ever I've heard it.
He's the worst person to be preaching to anyone about this sort of thing.
God.
The worst thing that you did was, before I asked you to stop kindly for the final time, was not even put it under your name or let anyone know. You just put something on my page, which made me look like such an arsehole. Right? And then the worst one is when you do it late at about 11 o'clock. So I might have gone, I ain't got a clue. And then all the Yanks are waking up at this point. Obviously, the Americans are looking at it thinking, gosh, man, Vinny's really gone off the fucking rails. You know?
What was the last one?
I don't know. It had the C word in it, so I got rid of it.
Nah, it didn't. Did it?
Yes, it
That
did.
weren't the worst part of it, though, was it? Surely
No,
not.
the video was great. It was good. What he did, you know, he actually did a good video and some lefties making practice of himself. He had to go ruin it by putting a C word. He wasn't even shouting it. He wrote it in the description. So I had to get rid of it.
Oh, shit. Was it about the fat bird?
Yeah, the commies,
Oh,
It was a fat...
the communists.
oh
Yeah.
man. That is so jokes.
It was something like fucking... It was like a rhyme. Like fucking... See the state of the body on it. If I had to rub one out, I'd put a Johnny on it. Something like that. And then...
The worst one the other day, I can't remember quite what it was, but I had spent hours and hours, and this is where I have to say, come off it, Lou. I spent hours and hours editing a video. I'd put it up on my page. I was going to leave it overnight, and he put something
Oh, my cheeks
absolutely
are-
absurd on. Like just put. I can't remember what it was. It was so outlandish. I was like, Lou, for fuck's sake! I just spent like 8 hours or something. Put it together. I just lay off the page.
Oh my.
They're the best. It's the best times to do it. But yeah, I was... admittedly, I just went, all right, fair enough. The one
And
he
do
did
you know
the
what?
other day, it was... I could officially prove that God does in fact exist. If only I could find that receipt from our brunch in heaven. I'm always misplacing things like that. But he deleted it. That's funny.
Yeah, and you know I already get enough shit from the bloody Catholics, yeah, from all of our discussions. Every time a religious chat starts in my group, it is aggro. It is absolute hell. There's about 3,000 comments linked to it, and it's just people falling out left, right, and centre.
Yeah, but why would anyone believe you had brunch with God, or that you thought you had brunch?
Just, why would half these people barely know who I am? Why are they going to think that Luke Uncaged is bloody writing on my status?
I see both sides of it, right? I do. I know what you're saying, Luke, but the thing is, the second you mention religion, you've as Vinny said, about 1 million people comment on it, and it's just like, no, that's not the point.
No, he's lying, Luke. Fons, he's lying. He's lying.
That's not the point. The point is, it just brings up like people defending, and then people attacking, and then it kicks off, and it's just like, fuck this.
Oh, mate, but he doesn't even do it. Like, he doesn't even make a religious point. He just says something like that, and then it kicks off. At least I'm trying to like make a point.
Yeah, but that's fucking funny. Like, I'm always. If only I could find that damn receipt, I'd prove to God. It's a good joke because it's mugging religion off, but then it's it's
fucking believe me as well. No, someone that believes in God actually wrote it on my page. Yeah, an admin of my page. Yeah, of course they did, mate. You dickhead. Yeah.
That's why it's genius.
As someone that believes in God, Luke is someone who believes in God, not me. Not talking about me.
Hey, I believe in God, but I've got a fucking sense of humour.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It's like you're on the sort of path that, come on, God must have a sense of humour. He's created me, for fuck's sake.
But the thing is, right, the reason sometimes I do have to delete them is...
I can hear one of the kids in the background. Just want to jump at them.
Yeah, go on, Vin.
Go on, sorry, mate.
Is ultimately, I do see people that will follow my content for the serious stuff, and they don't mind a bit of humour, but they're not ready. And they will just unfollow when they see something outlandish or the sort of humour.
They're not worth your time, mate. You're better than that.
I don't know about that, mate. There's standards. people that do respect the historical documentaries, I can't expect them to, like, I don't know, jokes about people opening their bums or whatever, So, we've got to meet them halfway, Luke. We've got to meet them halfway, mate.
Alright, brilliant.
Alright.
I know what you mean. I'm fully
you don't. That's the problem. You don't. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep having these conversations.
Yeah, but if maybe we can make them have a sense of humour, we can convert them. Yeah.
Too late, mate. Lockdown's been on forever. Everyone's fuming. It's too
Oh,
late.
mate, did you hear about that fucking 80 people pub rule?
What?
Yeah, man.
That
Show me the video.
Let me dig
Show
this
me the
shit
video.
up. No, there's no. Well,
Oh,
as far as I
my
know,
God.
there's no video. But let me dig this shit up. I'll be 2 seconds. Here we go. No, I commented on it.
Hey, bruv,
I'll
what a
dig
good
it out.
idea. What a good idea. How about we do some sick podcast where me, you, and Vinny, we just watch street fights and commentate on them like we're like UFC commentators, or boxing commentators.
Can do.
How sick is that? We just give our opinions on the fight.
I can do this.
That's a sick idea. We just watch street fights because there's no copyright to a street fight,
No.
right? There's no copyright whatsoever. So we can show them on the stream, not get banned, and just fucking rip the shit or say, oh, mate, he had a fucking sick right cross. Did you see that? Like, slow it down, watch it. Because there's so many fucking funny street fights out there.
Yeah.
Loads of them.
It's just a bit
Sick idea.
awkward because me and Vin don't really get on that much.
It is a bit awkward, mate, to be honest. It is. I think, and the fact that we can only come together because of you, Lou, I think you should appreciate that, honestly. And why you've got to bring that up, Franz, I don't know, innit? I'm just going to go quiet.
I tried not to.
I'm just going to go quiet.
But
I'm just going to go quiet. You got to do that and put that blue bottle in the room, innit? But whatever.
Oh, you can have that, bro.
I just wish Alex was on.
He is so bad like that as well, Fonz, in the chats. If he sees an argument, he will get in there and he'll be like, ooh, Do you see that?
Stirring the pot. Do you know? Do you know what? I thought I'd got a like for this. Sorry, I'm digging for that video of the 80 people, street fight, a pub fight, now pubs are open and whatever. So this is MSN and whatever. Philip Schofield wanted Prince Harry to shut up until he heard his dreadful podcast or whatever. So I just wrote on there, Schofield lies to his wife and family for years, cheats on her for years, gets called a hero. Fuck this guy. No one's liked it. It's been on there for 9 hours.
Thing is, that fucking geezer was going out there, throating 18-year-old cock and then going back to his wife.
Whatever word, Lou.
No, he was. He
fucking was, man.
He fucking was. He was swallowing length and then going back kissing his kids.
Yeah.
He's a dirty cunt.
Exactly. And he gets called a hero. Like,
Yeah,
fuck this
fucking
guy,
hero.
man.
Oh, he's so brave.
I've got it.
How's he fucking brave?
Yeah.
How's he fucking brave? He's a pervert.
Say that,
Yeah.
Lou. We wouldn't do it.
Well.
Yeah.
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 Fuck
Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
Braver than us, mate. Braver than us.
that. I wrote on this. So it says MSN, right? This is another MSN thing. Probably taken from the Independent or wherever the fuck. I don't care. But it says huge 80-person pub fight breaks out in Chorley,
80 people.
yeah, Lancashire.
Surely.
It is Crawley, isn't it? I'll post it anyway. But then it's. I just wrote on there, nothing wrong with a good old punch up, just as long as you keep the blades out of it. And I got no likes.
Yeah. I see the one at Luton Airport. It was a mass brawl at Luton Airport with people punching up each other and that. It was a bit one-sided because there was a lot more of the other group than there was the opposing group. So a little bit of a libby. Watch that punch up, people, and come back. Well, 80 people.
80 people, man. That's what it says. 80 person.
I think they were
pub fight.
Romanians, the ones at the airport.
No, or there was 80 people at the pub at the time, but
English
then only 2 of
language.
them full.
There wasn't any English language in that one, was there? It was foreign. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And you're just watching them, and they're not quite brown and they're not quite white. So I think you're right. They are like Romanians or something. It's just like a little tinge in them, but fucking hell, did it go off?
What was you talking about a minute ago, Lou, before any of this? Been especially forgetful.
I've been
we
like that
was-
lately.
Talk about your page, wasn't it? It was your page and what the shit I was doing to it. And then
After that.
it was talking about that podcast. We're going to do, like, watch street fights and fucking commentate on it.
That was it.
Sick. That's a sick idea.
Yep, lost it. I also think it would be good to announce while we're here that those of you that don't know me, which is impossible seeing as I'm just amazing, I have been recently making historical stuff and I want to make something and include Lou. And it would involve something he's bloody good at, which is drinking. Don't worry, I wouldn't call him to do anything stressful. But I do intend, hopefully, to get him out on camera and some historical events and a fun regime, looking at some of the lost drinking venues of the city. I think that would be genuinely enjoyable, as opposed to Marxism, internationalism, communism, and all the usual boring.
And dad jokes.
Part of that schedule involves me. I'm going to go to the pubs, give you the history of the pub, tell you what was going on there, if it was a brass house, if it was, whatever it may have been back in the day, or how it started, or if it's still got the same name, because some pubs change name after a while. But and then try and pick a fight with the doorman, see who's got the best.
Who's got the best doorman? Yep. Who's got the best doorman? Yeah.
Who's got the best doorman, and go in there taking liberties and seeing how the doorman deal with
Run
it.
all the tests. Try and get away with smuggling booze in. See how long it takes you to get clocked. Start sniffing in the toilets. You know, do all the stuff, run the checks. You know, yeah. Start hitting on the barmaid, but make sure it's the most odd-looking one and just
appropriate things to
yeah,
say.
just don't let go. Just keep hitting on the barmaid, whatever. When she's serving, you know, lean in to whoever's ordering a drink and that. Just yeah. What are you doing after this?
Just say to her, just walk up to her, 38. What do you mean 38? Trying to get you a bra size, babe.
Ooh.
Oh.
I remember some, and you know what? One worked. One actually worked for me. I shouldn't reveal this information. And it was the Central Line, and I thought, why not? And I never embellish. I never lie. And I've gone over to a bird and I said, I've lost my number. Can I borrow yours? And it worked.
Did it work? Yeah.
And it worked.
Jesus.
And she laughed. She laughed outlandishly. She laughed out loud, but she still gave me. I mean, don't get it wrong. We've all had horror stories when we've tried to do this. But yeah, it has worked. You know, if you're cocky enough and a bird with the right sense of humour, then you might get away with it. You know, if you in that.
I've got a bad one. I think it might be worse than yours. Maybe. Depends the way you look at it. But I used to have one of my birds' names tattooed on my chest. Right? Yeah, this is true. I was that.
He's waiting for me to cut him off, but I'm
never
going to
told me
allow
that.
him. Live
You
on
never
stream, I'm going to
told
allow
me
him.
that.
To be fair, we was playing at a festival and we got offered free tattoos, and I just was like, all right, fuck it, I'll just get her name.
That's right then. Oh, sorry, Lou. I thought it was a silly reason. Sorry. Sorry.
We was drunk. We was doing sorts of things, whatnot, and fucking, you know, it was one of them spur of the moment things. Fucking did it, whatever. But yeah, I got that done. So anyway, I split up with her, obviously, years later. I was out for a drink with one of my cousins, and we're talking to these birds, you know, getting in there. And she told me her name, and it was the same name. So I said, do you know what? I knew you'd be here. So I got your name tattooed on my chest. And she was like, yeah, that's a weird one. All right. But no, serious, look. And she just, just started laughing hysterically. And I was like, see, told you. She said, yeah, but you spelt it wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say. She probably spelled it with an I or something.
Fucking mugged me off. I was like, shit. But yeah, no, we got their numbers and all that business, and yeah, stayed in touch for a bit, and then got, you know. Yeah, it worked, kind of, but it was still fucking cheesy. Fucking cheesy. I knew you'd be here. That's why I got your name tattooed on my chest. Boom. Bad.
Shut up, Lines.
Very rarely see
I'm trying to think if I've ever used one. I don't think I have.
What are you talking about? Dildos?
No, I've used them. Just thinking of chow-up lines. I don't think I've ever used one.
Oh, mate, listen.
I think it's just always been.
My others.
No, I think it's always been like you're coming with me, and that's it. They never had a choice.
Yeah, I've done that. I've seen him be savage like
that. I've done them, but sometimes it was actually just to birds that were already friends, and I thought, you know what? I've not pulled tonight. I'm going to go up and go up to them. They know you're a dickhead. They know you're playing, but you're like, listen, if I could change the alphabet, I'd put you and I together. You know.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Nice little ones like that.
I'll tell you one. It weren't really a chat up line though. I was at a house party, and there was a girl there who was kind of interested. Gary the Snail for Luke. And there was loads of people there, and this girl was there. Yeah, Gary the Snail, what we used to call Gary the Snail.
Oh shit! Yeah, Gary Snow. Yeah.
So we was at this house party. He fucking would let off fireworks and everything. Even smashed his mum's back door. Not back doors in. I mean, I done that. But No, smashed his mum's back door with a firework and blah, blah, blah. It was a fucking pucker place to have a party. You clocked that one. Yeah, so then, so there was this girl there, and kind of interested, kind of wasn't. But then I thought, fuck it. So I just, like, sort of pushed her against the wall. Not harshly or anything. She loved it. And then, like, just kissed her, and then just went, if you want the rest, you better meet me upstairs. Anyway, yeah, it happened. That's the only chat up line I can
Is that
think.
who I think it was?
Yeah, it was shit, and I didn't do anything. But anyway, it was. I never used chat up lines.
What, Thingy's sister?
No, I can tell you after stream.
Ah, yeah. Leave it at that.
But yeah, that I never used chat up lines that I can think of.
I did, I think. I think I did.
Yeah.
Trying to. Yeah. My memory.
I mean, we've all done things like how I got with my missus now.
No, but them EEP days, bruv, they was just.
Yeah, you didn't need to really. You didn't need
They
to.
was
You knew
fucked.
when someone was interested. I learned a lot about girls then, and then you didn't never really need to use anything like the chat up line wise. Like,
Yeah, for those that don't know, yeah, me and Fonz was in a band together and all this, and
sounds gay, but
did touring and all that. But no, like
It worked.
we weren't like nothing fucking major or special, whatever. We just had a good times and that. But fucking yeah, we did get on it, and it's a bit blurry them years because there was just so much going on.
there
And
was
then
a lot
just
going on.
constantly drunk. So
Yeah, I just can't think. I mean, I'll tell you how I got with my missus now. Well, not really, but like the first night. So she's kicking me and shit. That's irrelevant. But how I actually got the number was just something simple as like, I'm going to take your number because I want to know you go home safe, and that was it. And that was it. Just had the number. So like, yeah, you never really. You don't always have to use a chat up line. So I've not really used them. Just shit.
they work sometimes.
Pretty boring. I've never known a chat up line to work.
Bloody Alex, go away. Go away. Where is he?
Vin, have
Oh,
you ever
right.
known a chat up line to work? Has anyone, for instance?
Vinny told you that fucking one on the train.
Listen, I've had cheesy chat up lines work, and then being really polite, and it didn't work because they're just genuinely not interested.
Yeah.
If a bird's interested in you and you pull it off well enough, they don't really care what you say. They just want you to break the ice ultimately. Within reason.
I got mugged off sickly by a bird. Right, we was in this place called Dirty Bertie's. It was just called Bertie's, but everyone called it Dirty Bertie's. And if anyone's from East London, a certain part of East London, they'll know this place. So I'm in there with my mate who was 6'9" and was about 36 stone. This geezer.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I won't drop his name, but he was fucking huge. Anyway, in this club, and this fucking absolutely stunning redhead, but dyed red, was on the dance floor. So I'm fucking, just doing my thing, and then I had a little look at her and give her a wink, and she was like, oh, fucking sweet girl, look, right, I'm going, right, boom. So, walked over there, I said, right, babe, yeah, do you want a drink? She's like, yeah. So, got up to the bar, told me, yeah, she was proper, she knew she was fucking stunning, absolutely knew she was stunning, she really was, like, fit as fuck. I was like, I can't believe this, fucking sweet. So, gone up there, ordered, the drinks. Said to her, oh, what do you want? She said, a shot or something, whatever the fuck it was. So I ordered my one. Hey, where are you from then? And all this. And she was being a bit flippant. And then She got her drink and went, well, and walked off.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was like, huh? Like, and the fucking barmaids come up to me, give me my one, and said, yeah, it's, I don't know, 10 or whatever. Said, she's fucking just drunk that and walked off. She said, yes, does it all the time. And I was like, absolute cunt.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Lou, I was in a pub once, right? I'm chatting to this bird, and I, you know, like yourself, I thought I've landed on my feet here, you know. And it was packed, the pub, so I'm at the bar, and her mates hadn't seen that she was stood there with me, and they've walked up next to her and gone, I found some guys to buy us drinks. So obviously that was the three of their scheme. And I've heard this. Now, I won't... Now, obviously, I've now decided to pour the drink, so this person... clothes were wet. But the point was, they come over, and that she looked at me in horror. Like, oh, no, you've given the game away.
Hello,
but those
steppers.
girls, their entire regime was to go out and look for blokes to buy them drinks. They had no intention of spending money.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing is with me? And Luke will agree with me, and I have no shame in saying it. My days of being a knob and sleeping around and whatever has always been... I have been that...
You still are a knob.
There we go. Right, there's this fucking bitch.
Look, he knows. Look,
I have
it's
been...
nodding,
What do you call it? Like the fucking bum that all the men hate, but then somehow still sort of gets a girl. I would say that was it, and I think that's fair. Didn't you, Luke? Like, Luke, you can say it how you want to say it, man. Say it.
No, he was a prick, but he did get girls. He did get girls, you know. He's still done his part. And I was more the chivalrous one, gentleman. Yeah. I even, you know, back in the day when we used to go down the clubs and that, I'd just put my, like, where we'd be playing, doing all these things, and I'd put my card behind the bar, wherever we was playing, and say to the girls, look, get yourselves drinks all night, because obviously I'm going to be on the stage, you know, singing and that, so I ain't going to be about to buy you a drink. If I was, you know, shagging a bird at the time, I'd say, look, get you and your mates drinks all night, and we'll leave it as that. And even me mates' birds and stuff like that. But Fonz was never like that, but still got gash, you know. So I was more the mug, really.
So,
I mean,
listen, I was like, completely the same, yeah.
Not
But it was
really.
more enjoyable that way, Lou. Didn't you
got-
find it was the game? It was more enjoyable that way, you know. That was the chase. That was growing up.
yeah, like, I don't mind it. I don't give a fuck about money. Like, you know, it is what it is. You know, you treat people. But Fonz would be the total opposite, and they'd still get birds. So would my mate. My mate, one of my best mates. He was the same. Never used to have much money or put his hand in his pocket for birds and treat him a bit sort of shitty, but he'd always still get them.
I call him social chameleon. I always have done. He would just find a spot, fit in with anyone and talk to them, and very not general knowledge. He's so good at it. He'd be able to just get in a conversation. You're like, how the fuck are you pulling this shit out? It's like he had a script.
He was a sponge for general knowledge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sponge, man. Like he would be an ideal phone a friend if you were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah. 100%. Like, you could be talking about someone and go, can't think of the fucking guy's name, and you go, oh yeah, David Attenborough. Like, obviously everyone knows that name, but just for, yeah, he would just know it. And it was like, who was the host for Price is Right in 1980? And he'd know it. He'd be like, no, it weren't him actually, and he'd correct himself and then go, yeah, no, it was this guy actually, and
For some reason he fucking knew that shit.
Yeah, he just knew. It's just like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
But he was the most clumsiest, dopiest bastard ever.
Yeah.
I was roundies on Sunday morning watching the UFC, and he just fucking for some reason, like he had this carpet on the floor, you know, one of them rugs, yeah, and was trying to move the table to get this carpet underneath it, and he just lifted it with all glasses on it, and then just fucking glass went everywhere, smashed everywhere, and like his missus is like, oh for fuck's sake, like, you know, and they ain't got a Hoover, they just got out a broom, and he's like sweeping all this glass. I'm like, there's glass there, there's glass there. He's walking about in socks. Like, there's glass everywhere. So I'm like on the floor picking up glass, like lumps of it.
This was recently, did you say?
Sunday. Like, it's Monday now. This is Sunday morning.
Oh,
I went round and watched the UFC. The UFC started at 2 a.m.
No,
that's about the time
I'm just glad to know you're talking to him and like been round.
Yeah. It was a good night, bruv. Like me and him had a proper laugh.
I need one of them with him. I need that.
For
Badly
sure.
Need that.
He does as well, bruv. Trust me, he does as well. He's like, because he's one of our band members, by the way, people. We're not going to drop his name in here.
Member, yeah.
But he was our guitarist for years. He's my best mate, like, you know, for donkey's years. You know, I love the geezer, to pieces. But obviously, I've had kids now, so you start to lose a bit of contact as much. But when we see each other, there's nothing different. You know what I mean? We're still
same old, yeah.
Yeah, no, and he ain't changed a fucking bit, man. Just smashed glasses everywhere. every time he spills a drink.
He's been known for that since day one.
Single fucking time we're out, spills a drink.
Like, you would have to.
And he's the funniest cunt in the world, mate.
You would have to hold your drink because you just couldn't trust.
Knock it over.
He would, and that's no joke. We're not just exaggerating and making a story. Like, no, that is a known thing about this guy when he's there. And he'd even put his own drink down because at the time, this is how long ago it was. You play something like the Wii and you'd be playing Wii bowling or Wii golf. He'd put the fucking drink on the floor and then go to take his shot on the Wii and then guaranteed knock it over. And it was just like, no, I'll take that. Like, to the point where you have to take his drink for him and place it somewhere safe, and even then it weren't fucking safe.
Like Alex.
Yeah. I don't know how bad Alex is for stuff like that, but
is Alex like that? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't feel safe. His eyesight is awful, and his hand-eye coordination isn't the best.
Yeah. He can dance though.
Yeah, but you know, people can technically dance in the dark because it's
you need to teach him the safety dance. You can dance.
In the dark.
You can dance.
Who sang that song, Dancing in the Dark? Who was that?
Oh, fuck knows.
Yeah, sorry, go on, carry on. He's Alex.
I love Alex. He's so fun to talk to.
Do you know how many phone calls I had after that chilling challenge asking who Alex was? Well, not even phone calls, like Twitter direct messages. And then a phone call off my cousin saying, "Who's that guy? Is he for real? Is he?" You know, they think he's putting that on, and I'm like, "No, he wasn't in character. That's him. That's really how he talks. And if you met him, you'd know that this wasn't some act. This is the real deal. This is Alex, mate. Fucking legend."
I've been accused of the same thing that Ricky Gervais got accused of with Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
That people do believe he's a character, and I say to them, well, look.
Yeah, I believe that about Ricky Gervais, but not Alex.
Well, whatever the
Pilkington.
case,
yeah.
It's impossible to act smarter or have a bigger vocabulary than you actually do. You can pretend to be more stupid. You can pretend to have a lower vocabulary, but you cannot pretend to do that.
Yeah, no, you're in the clear there. Absolutely, that's true. Yeah.
Well,
but Alex is like that.
I wouldn't say cannot. I'd say
you can't. It takes decades of a different vocabulary level.
Yeah.
It takes decades of learning.
Seriously hard to do, but some people can do it.
Yeah. Some people could, but I do find that Alex kind of repeats himself.
That's with highly trained actors, and that's not just going on somewhere and doing something live. That's doing a scene that you have rehearsed.
Yeah, no, I've seen Alex go live with people.
To go full wham and go fucking live, and then be put on the spot and have to have that vocabulary, you're probably right, Vin.
Yeah, no, I've seen
Possible.
Alex go live with people personally as well, and I watched the whole fucking thing.
If you know Alex like me, I know him like, and the vocabulary he actually has is so much more extensive than you might hear him on one stream and another and here and there. But his actual vocabulary, no actor could take on that part because it's actually years of study. You know, when he was in Greece, he did something like 12 GCSEs at once.
Did he do Grease? Yeah, on stage.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, Greece on stage, Lou. Yeah, you can see him doing that, can't you?
He played Sandy.
When he said that, when he was in Greece, with Shane Ritchie and that.
Katie Jane, thanks for the follow. Thank you for the hoodie as well. I will wear it when I get it.
I'm bringing that with me.
Luke still. There you go. Luke still got it, but we do have it.
Sorry to disturb, but last week I was asked to give a chat or a lecture basically in this thing called The Speaker. Or is it called The Speaker? Whatever it's called. Anyway, but at the end, I said this about Alex, that we're lucky to have him because, and luckily the room agreed with me, and I hope everyone here does. He could have buggered off and been some boring academic. He could have had a lot of money as some weird professor type lefty, but he morally cannot stand what goes on so much that he chose a career where his books are taken off. He had another book taken off Amazon last week, which is Easy Meat, The Rape of Britain, which is a book.
Really?
Yeah, Peter McLaughlin, the book by Peter McLaughlin, which he did the audio book of, was stripped from Amazon. When he rang Amazon, the official staff of Amazon said to him it was ripped for hate speech. And this is a detailed book on the rape of British girls. And Alex got the contract for that. He did the audio book for that. He works really hard on things that people don't give him enough credit for. And he could have buggered off and been some rich toff, but he's not, because his morality had him choose subjects which get him shut down. He's got his PayPal shut down, everything like that. So I think people need to understand how lucky we are to have people like Alex.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I love Alex, man.
Hello.
Throughout the years, people have tried to get rid of him. People have, lent in my ear, and the amount of people that want. And anyone that ever said that to me, the first thing that said to my head is, "You're gone." No, that's it.
No, look, I've got to be honest, as I always am, and brutally, because I know you love it brutal, Vinny. Oh yeah, I know you love it brutal.
Give it to me like tarmac.
No, so Alex, it's like, I know at times he can be frustrating and whatever, but at the end of the day, you know that he's on side, and you know that what he's saying is gospel. You know what he's saying is the truth, and yeah, you need more people like that.
I'll tell you one thing about him.
I love him.
He can admit when he's wrong. That's a real quality I love about someone.
Did I tell you about the time we got chased by Antifa with Alex? Well, I say chased. I say chased, right? What happened was, we cut a long story short, it was the day after Seven Oaks, and I had the big hole in my head still that you glued up for me, blah, blah. We get to the pub, and hang on, I don't know, was you there? You'll remember then if it was.
Yeah, that's why I'm smiling.
When we was with GI, and it was you, me, Alex, and that dickhead, and then we take
I was a bodyguard in these days. Like, well, not I say a bodyguard.
I'm very needed set of hands.
We needed muscle, right? Back then, this is before anyone knew Luke Uncaged or I had a channel or anything. All I was to go there and make sure someone didn't sucker punch Vin and keep my eyes on the crowd and stuff like that.
And at the start, that was Alex's job as well.
I tell you what, Lou is the reason that I got the successful video against Paul Sillett, which did lose me. Probably is the reason I lost my home, probably. But that day, without Lou, I'd have not got the video. I'd have had my phone smashed out of my hand. He did a job like 3 men would have needed to do, keeping them off me. And I was still having to fight them off myself.
And Dan as well, remember?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't want to name him. I didn't want to name him.
No, well, who's going to know
Who's
Dan?
Dan? Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you know
my
what
name.
Dan I'm talking about, but Dan, yeah.
But look, let me finish before I forget. But anyway, so they didn't. That's what I was going to say. It wasn't quite they chased us. We take this corner and we realise shit. Because we predicted. I got a phone call from a spotter who I won't name. You'll know who, Lou. He said, right, your pub's going to get surrounded in about 5 minutes. Now, if he tells me that, that's it. It's golden. Now we're there with about 50 GI, wasn't it? Roughly about 50 GI. I turn to GI, and usually they do everything we say because they understand we're serious. And I say to them, right, you've got 5 minutes, we've got to move now. They take exactly 2 minutes fluffing about. I say, you've got 60 seconds, right, we're gone. So by the time we get out, about 120 seconds later, like clockwork, my spotter was amazing. The place is surrounded. So we end up taking some back streets, don't we, if you remember, you, me, Alex and Dickhead. And eventually we go back on ourselves like idiots and end up back on Antifa. And we're like, shit. And we're not sure if we've been seen. So we're like, fuck, run. And at this point, we're basically, drag body carrying Alex down the road. And Alex is going, is there a death squad after us? And he's in the moment, Can you remember? He's in the moment, wasn't he? This is the most exciting moment of his life. He is there. It's happening now. It's all massive.
You've got to understand, physically, he's utterly useless. So it
Stop
would have been
talking about me like that.
Just fucking trying to punch, about
And not
6
just that, I was injured heavily. Like my injury wasn't just a small injury. I was heavily injured. If virtually, it would have taken a few blows and it could have killed me. So it would have Lou, me as a out as soon as I was struck with the stick or something, and that would have been it because I still had a gaping gash that Lou had closed. No, no homo. No homo.
Gaping gash
that Luke had plugged.
I was licking Vinny's wounds.
I can tell you what, as well, I got no infection. When I got, but for long story short, we won't go into it.
You should have heard him, bruv. You should have heard him when I poured in the TCP. Oh, God.
Like a little boy getting it.
I had my backpack with me when we went to Sevenoaks. So in my backpack, I obviously carry that fucking survival pack. So it's got everything in it that I need to dress wounds, clean them, and all that. So
Medic!
Vin, this is going to fucking hurt, mate. So, brace yourself. It's TCP. And he's got this hole in his head there. Just went like that, bump, 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 little dab, and he just,
But to his credit, I didn't get an infection. I didn't need to go to hospital, and it healed. It really did.
It did.
And then he glued me up.
I glued it up nicely as well. Pinched it together like that, and then nice little
The pub
box.
might not have been happy. Had they known what he was doing, they might not have, they didn't know I was pissing blood. So it might not have been appreciated if they'd have seen him borderline committing surgery.
I didn't stitch it up. I thought I ain't gonna stitch it up, but I did have to shave his hair so that I could do the glue, because otherwise that was gonna fucking hurt when he had his hair cut.
What did you use again? Like a knife?
I had my open-all with me, my open-all knife.
Yeah.
Which Fonzie loves. Fonzie loves an open-all knife. How good are they, bruv? They're so sharp.
So sick.
So sick. So I had my open-all knife, and I shaved off the hair, just where the cut was, without opening it up anymore, and then glued it, like, so that he didn't, when his hair grew back, it weren't all stuck in the glue, and that's just fucking ag. So you're going to end up doing a wax anyway, so you might as well shave it off there and then, save yourself the ag. So I was like, look, I've got to shave off a bit of your hair. He's like, no, look, bro, he's going to look weird. Look, it's fine, trust me. Just let me shave off that little patch there. No one's going to see it, because you've got a cut there anyway. They're going to just think it's part of the fucking cut. So I just took it off nicely. Nice little delicate fucking thing. Smack that stuff on it, hurt his fucking head. Fuck.
I wish I had that. On
How
camera.
much does TCP stings like fuck as well, doesn't it?
It really did, no.
It's got to be
It really
fucking.
did.
What is it? Alcohol
It's either
based
that
or
or
what?
whiskey or vodka or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I've got the TCP, I might as well fucking do it. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, bro.
Is it
After a
alcohol
couple of
based? It is, isn't it?
drinks- After a couple of drinks, I wasn't feeling all that. You know, I wasn't feeling like I didn't want to keep drinking because I was concussed. So I couldn't really medicate myself either because the concussion took on quite bad. Because really, it was one of those injuries you should have had checked up, but you know, bollocks.
No,
Oh,
you're
no.
all right now, aren't you?
Did it work? No,
Nazis in the car park.
Nazis in the car park.
Oh,
Nazis
that
in the car
creep.
park, everybody.
That
Nazis.
creature.
He's a fucking tranny, isn't he? Dressed up as a woman. He's a bit of a pedo in that.
He dresses up as a woman and throws his knickers in graves and takes pictures of them. He digs graves in his garden, and then says, "Who wants to fuck me in this hole?" He says.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, this guy. He was arranging a thing a few years ago, an event in. Do you remember? If anyone Googles this, it's actually still on Google. We made a poster on this guy. He was running an Antifa gathering in London Fields 2 years ago, and I got in contact with him and said, "Cancel that. This is you. This is you. This is your Facebook." And his Facebook was full of him dressed as a woman.
Lily White.
That was it. Well remembered.
I remember that because it's Tottenham Hotspur's nickname,
Hang on.
the Lily Whites. So I remember his name. His name was Lily White, and he was a total fucking pervert. So if anyone's seen the fight of us, you know, having a fight with Antifa in Sevenoaks, Lily White is the
Nazis in the car park.
Nazis in the car park.
You are confirmed. Got it. Right, here we go. In your inbox, Lou. 1 sec.
What? And he digs a grave and asks people to come around and fuck him in the grave.
This is the guy in question.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Yeah.
Paul Matheron.
And that's what I put out around the time of his event.
Yeah. This self-harming fruitcake is the UK organiser of Antifa and lives in a caravan in Hackney.
Yeah.
He is organising a recruitment event at the basketball court on the west side of London Fields, Hackney E8, on Saturday, May the 19th from 7 p.m.
I know exactly where he is. And yeah. So anyway, he decided to cancel that event thanks to the good work of the Valley Report.
Awesome.
Woo!
Well done. Well done, lads. Team power, form of.
He's a cringy fuck, isn't he?
So all of those Christians out there
Face,
that
anyway,
don't do anything, I guess I'll be rewarded in heaven, won't I?
I think so, mate.
God loves you.
Yeah, exposing cunts like that. Absolutely.
That's right. What an Antifa person as well. Look, if
Oh,
you
100.
Yeah, see it.
typical Antifa. Look, Nazis in the car park. Fucking Nazis, everybody. That's
He
it.
looks unwell,
I
doesn't
like to get fucked in graves.
Paul Matheron.
he? Lou, I'll tell you what as well. Literally,
Get back.
I got to be careful what I say because it's libelous. But
Don't worry
yeah, I'll
about
tell
it.
you in private. I'll tell you in private. But he's very silly because this is honest truth. I saw his location via research, via his own mistakes on the internet, and I was sitting on the train one day, and I'm looking out the window, and this train is above ground, and I'm looking down, and I'm passing London Fields, and what do I see? This guy's yard.
Caravan.
I know exactly where that guy is.
Oh, mate.
What?
Let's go and fuck him in a grave.
Christ, Fon, Jesus. Hang on, have a word.
I mean,
Listen,
have sex with him, not kill
Feds,
him or
any
anything.
feds that are listening, this is a humorous
I'm
jibe
meant-
that Fon's just made. All right, this is
Yeah, but he's
I
asked
meant
for it.
fuck him, like as in anally, like sex, not fuck him, like killing
I-
or anything.
Either way, you know.
I want to
Either-
clear that up. So it's been cleared up. There you go, feds. If you come for me, then I've already said what I'm gonna fucking do. Go fuck yourself. He asked for it, and I'm gonna fuck him in the arse. And he's
In the grave.
sandy asshole.
God damn.
Have you heard that one? Anyway. Key and Peele. He's talking to, like he's, a boxer, and he's saying, Sandy, I'll send it to you. It's fucking hilarious. Sandy asshole.
Is he talking like Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it's fun. Have you seen it on? Key and Peele?
I know they are, but no, I never liked them because they were just a direct rip-off of the original geezer. What was his name? The black comedian.
All right.
You know him.
Yeah, but you know that he's the parkour guy off of that film that you like.
Yeah, I know he is, and that was fucking funny. It was, trust me. But they did kind of, and even the geezer I'm talking about, why can't I fucking think of his name? Fucking proper famous black comedian, like the most famous.
All right.
Bald fella.
Oh, Bob Marley. Oh no, you said bald.
Oh, sorry.
famous black comedian. I just thought all his songs were a joke, you know. No, I really like Bob Marley though. I actually really do.
Shit,
like
I'm gonna
Bob
put it up now. Dave Chappelle. There you go.
Marley. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. They ripped off Dave Chappelle. A good.
I've got the same birthday as Bob Marley.
Wow.
Who? You.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah.
For
Fucking
real.
Knew there was something funky about you.
That's why he likes the old natural herbs.
Yep. Natural.
Yeah, I'm always
stuff.
down the old Chinese shop. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you're right, Luke. Yeah, the old natural herbs.
Yeah, bay leaves, rosemary, thyme, 5 spice.
It explains a lot.
Get down the old Indian, market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Natural herbs, of course, son.
Natural
Absolute
herbs,
flogging
doing
Luke,
wonders.
Lisa.
Opium.
Then the Chinese herbs. Yeah, 1800s Vincent would have been frequenting opium then.
Oh, fucking.
Yeah, he definitely would have been. 1800s Vincent with his fucking hat and his
I would have
cane.
been glorious.
And he's like, walking down there, I'm going to frequent the...
Oh, what?
yeah. Who?
Shit. No, let me just say. There is an arsehole on YouTube that's allowed here. I'm going to share this with everyone.
Chat.
I'm looking at someone's actual fucking arsehole being bleached. Because I've typed in... put a T instead of a K. Key and Peele arsehole. You can actually watch someone's arsehole be bleached on YouTube. Sharing it fucking right now. Let me share this shit. Where's Telegram as well? Share this with Telegram.
Vinny, you going to watch this?
Vinny, you need to see this, man.
Huh? Right,
Are
coming
you
in.
going to watch this?
Where are we?
Let me just fucking share this with Vinny.
Fonzie's
No, I'm sweet in it. You carry on.
No, I need to share this with Vin.
You're gonna watch someone's arsehole be bleached.
There you go, Vin. Look at the thumbnail. Look at the fucking thumbnail. Can you see that? It's an arsehole. You can even see pussy flaps. And they want to ban us for fucking posting Oh man, you can watch someone's arsehole be bleached. What the fuck? This should be banned, man.
And you can listen to reggae. Well, what is it called? Like, is it drill music or what? What the fuck do you call that shit? Like bashment, isn't it? It's bashment. So you can listen to bashment where gays are being, killed and shit. But Brothers Uncaged is banned.
Yeah.
Something just comes back. It's just come back to me that I was going to say earlier, right? You know when we was talking about gays, Fonz. You know when we was talking about gays earlier, right? Because I've got to go. But this is my last point.
Talking about ourselves or what?
We were talking about gays earlier, and it's just come back to me a point I was going to make. You know when you're making a point about gayness, right?
Yeah.
And someone says, "Oh, you don't like gays? That must mean you're gay."
Yeah.
Right. But I don't like mushrooms. Does that mean I'm a mushroom? Do you not think that is the weakest argument in the world? So that must be my proxy.
I have a point. You did have a mushroom haircut in the 90s, bruv.
That's different.
I did see that.
That's different.
I've seen that picture.
My blonde haircut.
I think that is case closed, to be honest.
It's a normie argument. They come back with, "Oh, you must have some dark deep." No, so
yeah, but it's like whoever smelt it dealt it kind of thing.
You don't like something. That means by proxy, whatever you don't like, you must like it, and you're just pretending. No.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Well, one thing he does protest too much.
Yeah, it's just I got to be careful what I say, not to use a homophobic slur, but it's just a.
It's a Puff's argument, was you going to say? Puff's argument.
I wouldn't have used such a disgusting term, ever.
What's wrong with Puff?
Yeah, it is a Puff's term. Of course it's a Puff's term.
Yeah, but what's wrong with the word Puff?
Nothing whatsoever. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree. Puff.
So you're saying...
Dances with Puffs. My mate Andy dances with Puffs.
Ah, the other day. I left that one up.
Andy Richards dances with Puffs. That's his Native American name, and I'm gonna fucking continuously call him that, whether he likes it or not. I don't care. People can think it's bullying, whatever. The geezer deserves it. He's an helmet, and his Indian name, had he have been a Native American, would have been Dances with Puffs. Telling you that. No doubt about it. He's a fucking weirdo with nothing better to do than to use names bigger than himself. Minge.
On that note, boys, it's my bedtime.
Oh, Vinny.
I know.
Thank you for coming on, Geese, because that was a good laugh, as always. And I'll try and organise this street fighting commentary one we're going to do. I'll pick out the best fights with the best moments in it. I watched one the other day. It was. I'll tell you this quick before you go. This bird was fighting another bird, and the attacker or whatever, the protagonist, whatever, had a metal baseball bat, and she was hitting this other bird with it, and the bird would not go down and was fighting back. Like, she must have had the fucking most iron chin I've ever seen. And I mean, it hit her on the chin as well, baseball bat. And you could hear it going, you know that noise aluminium baseball bats make? Ding!
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruh, like, and the girl was still fucking standing.
Oh, I think I'm going to download Manhunt, you know.
Ah, sick game. Yeah, sick game.
It reminds me of baseball bats. But
Right,
yeah, no, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Vinny, cheers for coming in, bruv.
Take care, crew. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll have to get you to sit on my face very soon. Yep.
Fonz, let me know when you're ready to get moving.
I will message you at this point tomorrow and let you know the status of
Okay.
what's going on.
Unfortunately, I'll tell. Well, I think I told you about my mum the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
We've got a few things going on, and it's kind of put Fonz in an awkward position because obviously he lives down there with my mum. I'll tell you anyway.
Well, I actually have got. To be honest, Fons, there is someone else who's sitting there waiting that could take it off your hands if it's too busy. So we'll talk about that later anyway.
Okay.
I'll be down
tonight.
in 2 weeks anyway. I'm gonna go down to Fonz in 2 weeks because of reasons. But
Right,
yeah,
I'm off, bro.
yeah.
Much love, mate. Much love. Much love.
Vinny
To
Sullivan,
Vincent.
everyone. The most misunderstood man on Telegram.
I do like Vinny. I mean,
I
you know,
love him.
it's
Love
hard.
him.
It's hard not to hate him, but at the same time, it's hard not to love him. It's just, it's this hate, you know, hate relationship. I know he hates me as well, but it's understandable. But yeah, man, I think I've learnt a lot tonight.
Well, if anyone needed to know a bit more about Native Americans, there you go. That's how savage they was.
Cunts. Sound like cunts. Danny burns off. He's a moderator, by the way. I've put some moderators out there tonight.
Yeah, Danny Byrne, always Danny Byrne. Yeah, later on, Danny Byrne, top man. Yeah, we'll wrap it up anyway. That's 12 o'clock. We've had a good showing. So thanks everyone for tuning in and sticking around. If you tuned in for a little while, thank you and all. Blinding, I appreciate it. And fucking that word didn't turn out to be a bad show. There you go. And I hope I've enlightened some people to the perspective, because obviously we're not told everything, and we're always told white man bad, white man did this, white man did that. Listen, it was in retaliation to some fucking savage behaviour from the Native Americans when the people were there, wrongly or rightly, you know, to settle, get gold, do whatever they do, you know. That was the way of the world then, and that was the way of the Native Americans as well, to brutalise people. It was a horror show, you know, that people were told horror stories while they were there and before they got there. So, you know, how long were the European settlers expected to take that, whether they were there for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? You just got to understand that if someone had taken your family or friends, gang raped your nan, burned your daughter, or slowly roasted her as well, because it wasn't a quick burn or anything like that, it was a slow roasting until they were dead. Beat your children, rape your missus, gang raped as well. And not as if that was normal behaviour. What would you have done if you was a general of the army, or, you know, or if this was your people? Just try and see it, you know. We're always told to see it from the point of the Native American, which I do. I see their view. I see that their lands were being invaded. I see that. I understand that. But no one ever sees it from the people that were settling there at all. And we're always told that when it comes to illegal immigrants, to see it from their point of view.
Yeah.
But the left never, ever tell anyone to see it from the European point of view when it comes to settling in America. Never. It's all our fault. We shouldn't have been there. And we went over there and butchered these Native Americans. No, we didn't. They were butchering us hundreds of years before we was butchering them. Hundreds of years that went on for. So just because we won doesn't make us morally less than the Native Americans at all. No way in the world. You know, I'm sorry these things happen, but they did happen.
Mhm.
It is what it is. And Tonghua and I mean, I didn't even go into what they did to Liver Eating Johnson's wife. If anyone's ever heard of Liver Eating Johnson, Jebediah Johnson, he was. There's a film about him as well. He Jeremiah Johnson, not Jebediah. Jeremiah Johnson. Anyone wants to look up an interesting character from history, look up Jeremiah Johnson. He killed so many Crow Indians in revenge for what happened to him. Well, didn't happen. Well, it did happen to him. He was kidnapped by them and tortured and whatnot, but he managed to escape. But his wife and child. His wife was a Native American as well. His wife was a Native American, and he married her, got her pregnant, and then while he was away one day hunting, getting food, they these Crow Indian came and gang raped his wife and cut her to pieces and killed her and his kid because the kid was unborn. So obviously it died with the mother. And yeah, just for no reason, just did it. So he set out on revenge, and he killed so many of them. So many, and you just look up his picture. He's just this scruffy dude with this big hair and this big beard, like all skinny, sitting there like. And he was the bane of the Crow Indian people, and he was actually captured one day by a certain set of Indians who was going to sell him to the Crow Indians so that they could have their revenge on him. And he actually managed to escape. He was a badass and lived out the rest of his days hunting loads of them. What he did was, because the liver was very important to the Crow Indians, he'd actually kill them and then cut their liver out and eat it, so that they wouldn't get to their next life. Because if they went without their liver, for some reason they had this bad practice where it was, you had to go with your liver, otherwise you weren't going to get to heaven, kind of thing. He would deliberately cut their livers out so that they wouldn't get there in their heads. But yeah, that's that. Sorry.
So he must have been a fucking demon in their eyes.
Bro, he was so hated by the Crow Indian. It was unreal. But he did it out of revenge because they killed his wife and his kid. Like, do you blame him?
No.
I'm sorry, but what would you do? What would anyone else do if some gang of people had killed your wife and your kid?
I think I'd go on a rampage like him. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, and he did. Now, rightly or wrongly, that's down to your moral compass. But for me, I can't
He
blame
does
him.
have a statue as well, which the left will probably take down at one point.
Yeah, they will. Liver Eating Johnson. Have a look at him. He's but like, if you go onto YouTube and type in Liver Eating Johnson and watch his biographic, fucking such a good story. Because he wasn't always a badass. He was a bit of a dumbass when he first got out there. And some guy taught him. He's like, listen, like, you're gonna get yourself fucking killed hunting like this. He was so green, as they call in America. Green means you're new to the shit. So he don't know anything, do you? He's like, no, I don't. So this guy taught him all sorts of things. And he was always, in with the Indians because he was a wild man living in the wild. And then he ended up, like I said, marrying this girl who was a Native American herself. And while he was away hunting, the Crow Indians come and killed her and the baby.
So yeah, but he was. Let me get one thing clear. He was a maniac because, and as we say about some of these Native Americans as well being cannibals, eating livers that are human, you're a cannibal. You are a maniac. So
Native Americans.
But he was a maniac.
The Native Americans would often eat raw meat, very often,
Yeah.
especially certain parts. So a delicacy of theirs when they killed the buffalo or the bison, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. I know this, yeah.
was to take the liver out
Yeah.
and then get the gallbladder and you squeeze that onto the liver and then at that raw, and it was a delicacy because all the salt of the gallbladder, salty piss water, would give it a certain taste, and that was one of the best parts. And then the rest of it they would cook, but they'd be particularly fond of raw liver squeezed with gallbladder on it. True fact.
Yeah.
Anyone look it up? It's true.
Wouldn't they eat the heart raw as well?
I don't know about that. That's not what I heard in the book anyway. I heard the liver and the gallbladder. Yeah, definitely, they were delicacies. You know, you pulled out the gallbladder and you squeezed out, especially kids. Kids absolutely loved it. The Native American kids, that's the bit they'd be screaming for. Hey, please. You know. And they'd munch that up. And then, the rest of it they did cook and then keep dried meat. Dry it out. Pretty much a meat-based diet. Pretty much lived on the bison. Or the buffalo.
Yeah, that's why they started wiping it out, wasn't it?
Lobo is actually a Native American word for wolf as well. Lobo. You never heard that before?
It sounds I haven't, but it sounds like it sounds like a homeless tramp.
Well, no, I tell you, I know that it was in the book, but basically, you know the Native American trackers that the white man used to use. Obviously, white generals would pay, or help to look after other tribes if they would help them hunt the Comanches and the Apaches and whatnot. Help them to hunt these guys. And there was a story written down by one of their generals that he was out there with this tracker in the woods, and they were going through this kind of wooded area. So there was bits of plains, because it was the Plains Indians. They were the worst. They were the ones that really put up the best fight and were did all them things I talked about earlier. But they're hunting these guys, and suddenly they hear a wolf howl. A big old.
Yeah.
So the guy stops. The tracker just stopped dead in his tracks, completely still, and listened intently.
Yep.
Heard it again. The wolf howl, and then the response from another wolf from somewhere else, and then the wolf again, and then the guy just went like, Lobo, and then carried on. So these Comanches were that dangerous. They could actually imitate a wolf almost perfectly. So the guy had to stop dead in his tracks and listen to make sure it wasn't them making this howling sound.
And then be calm and content after knowing it was just a wolf.
Yeah,
I'd be shitting myself if there was a wolf about.
The wolf is, to them, the wolf is far less dangerous than the Apache or the Comanche.
Yeah.
Far less dangerous. So that's how mad that shit is. Yeah. That'll wrap it up for tonight anyway. But I hope everyone's learned a little bit more about the Apaches and Comanches. I'm sure most of you already knew this stuff, especially the Americans, because that's like part of your culture,
If you don't
to know this stuff. But if you didn't, don't listen to the lefty propaganda, put on these films by fucking Hollywood, because it wasn't like that. They wasn't these totally noble fighters, warriors that were just trying to fight for the safety of their homeland. They were raiders. They were proper, as Vikings was. I'm not saying don't appreciate the Native Americans at all. I'm saying I have the highest respect for them in a lot of ways, but just understand that they wasn't practically wiped out for just no reason. These people were at war, and they were far more savage than we ever was. Even though we won in the end, they were far worse than we ever was to them. That way around. They were way more savage to us than we were to them. Don't be fooled by that bullshit, because it's just not true. That's the thing I have with it. It's not the fact of tit for tat and all this, and I want to prove that the white man was more better than them or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's just I don't like this whole dishonest thing about it. Why are we lying about this stuff? Why do we need to justify it with lies? That's just not true. It's just simply not true. They were just as savage, or if not more savage than us when it came to that, and their numbers probably greatly outweigh ours as well in murders. Probably.
Yeah.
If you added it all up, I guarantee if God could send you a sheet down now and said who killed who more, they would probably double our numbers for sure. Of that I have no doubt, because there were so many raids, so many times they just battered, especially the Spanish. Spanish absolutely got their asses kicked. It's only when the Texans come along. And Jules was like, no, fucking ain't having this anymore. And they absolutely smashed them to pieces. And that's all we ever hear about. We only ever hear that side of it, which is quite sad, really, because it's just not true.
It's not true.
It's just not true. So, there you go. Hope we learned something tonight. And download that book, man, or buy that book, whatever you got to do. Empire of the Sun and Moon, well worth a fucking read. So thank you to everyone in the chat. Really appreciate it.
Nice one, peeps.
Love you. All right, nice one, bro.
We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers, and speak to you very soon. Hopefully, we'll do one very soon. So much love.
Bye-bye.
Riley! Hold on.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. What a great honor to be able to interview the 35th President of the United States of America.